what you've dreamed of. I wish you joy and happiness, but above all this, I wish you love.
Very nice.
Well, yeah, that's let me stop doing this. Go back. That was
that good on a mobile recording. Holy cow!
her. I'm assuming a cell phone. I believe. Thank you, Elvis. I believe she has an iPhone. Her and her sister have an iPhone, I do believe. So, welcome everybody to the chat. If Gabriella is watching, hello. If you are, if not, you catch this later. If you're watching, just type hello to everybody. So hello to Gabriella, Christina, and the whole family from New York. My cousins from New York. So what do you guys think? The ones who came in late and caught the tail end of her doing her rendition of "I Will Always Love You" by Whitney Houston. I just heard her. Yeah.
First thing that comes to mind is a beautiful girl and a beautiful voice, so I know who got the looks in the family anyway. Just kidding. Couldn't resist, Carmen.
Not a problem, but that's it's all her dad. She's got the looks of her dad. So hi, Tony. If you missed this, you can just replay this, or if you want, I'll play her video again if you like. I don't think she will mind. Sweet, I think she was singing to you. She was singing to all of us.
Yeah.
I did tell her. Distro says Dolly Parton wrote it first. Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know that. Could be. I believe Whitney Houston made it big hit, if I recall. Some time ago, 20 years ago. It's been a while. I think it was from a movie.
The Bodyguard.
Yeah, The Bodyguard. Derek, yes. Whitney's cover is awesome. So is Gabriella's. Okay. She'll be happy to hear that. They're still on the road, by the way. Derek, if you want to join, just send me an email again. I'll send you the link. Yeah, they're on their way back. There was a family funeral here, Ohio, well, across the river in West Virginia. And they're probably still on the road now. They probably won't get home tonight till late. But I told her I would be on. I sent her the link to watch this. And if she's watching, Gabriella, just tap hi or something. Don't drive and do it. Let me check my messages real quick here. But yeah, they're probably on the road. But anyway, yeah. My cousin Gabriella, if you like to know more about her, let me, let's see here. Let's see if I can find a link for you.
That's a really popular song, but it seems like only so many people can really sing it well.
Oh, she pulled it off. I just did a search on YouTube since last I had the time, and And I was like, oh, I like that song. But I was like, holy moly, she nailed it.
Yeah.
And like I said, I sent it to my friend, and he texted back, and he says, Carm Holy, S-H-I-T. I said, yeah. She's got I should have saved the links. Give me a second here. Derek, if you want to join, just send me an email if you want to. I'll send you the link to the chat. I should have saved these previous emails, but I didn't. Anyway, well, I'll type her name in the thing here, and you guys can search it for one. Let's see. I'm gonna spell it right. Gabriella Pulice. That's an Italian, or Gabriella Pulis, but she goes by Gabriella, I think, is her stage name. From New York. She has more than a couple other videos. I think she released a single last year, an original song. I think it's called Temptation, so check that out if I am not mistaken. There is an official website. Darn it, hang on, I'll find it. Derek's got a hold. He's got to install Chromium, and he distro hopped. My God.
Oh man, again.
Again. Ugh. He needs to see my doctor, Dr. Vinny Bombats.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh my. Distro have to get Chrome. Yeah, it won't work in Firefox, so Hangouts. So, what is that website?
I found what looks to be her name, but nothing came up. It's
yeah,
I know it's Gabrielle. I got a grant.
Yeah,
Brandy's, but is it Balechai?
It's the last name is Pulice. Gabriella, first name.
Wait, say again. Pu.
Last name is Pulice. Pulice.
Oh, okay, because I thought you mentioned a different name before. Oh, there she is.
That's right. It will not work in links. Derek, get with the program here. You got to do Chromium. Let me see. I think it's Gabriella NYC something. There's a web page. Hang on, if I can find it.
Yeah, I found her YouTube page.
Yeah, it's probably on one of the YouTube videos. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's there somewhere. I should have came more prepared, but anyway, Gabriella, my cousin from New York, fantastic singer, and that was her rendition of "I Will Always Love You." So, we texted briefly last night. Tony says, "I missed it. Went back and listened. Wow, goosebumps." I agree. Totally. She's got to give it. I think she's been doing it since 12, something like that. I was telling Joe the last time I visited New York, I think she was just born. I've been in New York since like 20 years ago. That's how fast time flies. So obviously I didn't meet her, back then, obviously. But yeah, I met her and her sister Christina. Hi, Christina, again. I met him last night at the funeral home, and her dad says, "Oh, she's a singer. Gabrielle's a singer." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I didn't know what kind, So I just asked her, "Do you have videos?" "Oh, yeah, just look on Facebook and YouTube." I'm like, okay, and I did. And I'm like, Mamma mia. So there you go. Let's see if I can find any more. Yeah, just search on YouTube. I think it's Gabriella Pulis NYC.com or something like that. Let me see. I don't want to spend all night searching, but it's there. But I wanted to do something for the this is 2001 videos on this channel. It's a lot of videos. Even Dr. Emily Mumbat says, "What's the matter with you?" No, but I wanted to do something different, and you know, I didn't want to. Well, let's do a live look at, you know, Ubuntu or whatever. I don't want to do that. Or there's a whole bunch of releases, obviously, you know, this week. So I want to do something human versus just technology. And it dawned on me last night in this, why not just show her? So there you go. The best technology of all is the human body. How's that?
Yeah.
So yeah, Gabriella, I wish you the best. We exchanged messages last night. She has agreed to do a live show with me, a live podcast. So when she gets back and gets settled in, we'll work out a date, and we'll have her sing something live. Why not? So everybody here, please type in, "Hello, Gabriella." I don't know if she's watching, but just type in and say hello, and we'll move on from there.
Well, there's always food to talk about too, because I know how much you like to do that.
Thanks. Let's go from the singing to the food. Well, after you sing, you probably get hungry, so that's probably true, Joe. Yeah, let's see.
Well, she was singing what looked like to be in a restaurant at that.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention she works at her dad's pizza restaurant. Yeah. In between whatever she does. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yes, in Hempstead, Long Island.
Yeah. You know, I mentioned that Italian place we go to in Sarasota as well, and they have a daughter who sings. I don't know if it's once a month or a couple times a month, and she's got opera training.
Ah.
And holy cow, it's a, you know, so that's what this girl, your cousin, reminded me of too. I mean, it's strong, powerful voice.
Don't think she went to school for singing. She went to whatever it wasn't for singing. She's been doing it since a little kid, as far as I know, but I don't think she went to school for singing. I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't know if she's watching. If I'm wrong, if you're watching, tell me, Gabriella. But yeah, she just has a natural voice. Like I said, I didn't know. I mean, I knew my cousin Ernesto, that's the dad. I knew the family in general, but I didn't know about her talents, you know, about the whole thing going on until last night. Her dad mentioned it. I'm like, okay, cool. So I thought, you know, I got a YouTube channel. Let me see if I can help her out.
Yeah.
But that's where. But getting back to my original, yeah, I want to do some different for this 2001 videos that I've done since 2010, and I want to do something different. I think it worked out. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you missed it, rewind this and play it back. And I wish her all the best, and hope to have her on the live stream sometime soon in the future. I think that'd be awesome. And Steve says he's eating some homemade sausage jambalaya. Okay. I don't think Italians eat jambalaya, Steve. No, we eat la sausage. We eat sausage, yes.
You know, I kind of messed up here. I took a picture last week, and I'm going up this weekend too, to my son's in Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
And he took us to this restaurant, and I had this. How do I describe it? You can order either smaller plates, or you can order a full dinner, and then you share them all. And one of them, they got the mussels, and I took this picture, and I was going to send it to my sister for my dad. They were the biggest mussels I've ever seen, and I thought, I can change it. So I deleted it today. It was perfect to show you. I'm not kidding you. They were. I don't know how big.
I like mussels.
They were bigger than a golf ball. It seemed like. I am not exaggerating. I'm talking about the actual mussel inside the shell.
Really?
It was the size of a golf ball. I've never seen them that big. Ever.
I love mussels. I love
and they were
all kinds.
Just,
yeah.
But I had to share that with you because I know you're a foodie.
Oh yeah. Love. I don't know if Derek is a mussel seafood guy, but
yeah, I love mussels. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know you was Italian, Derek. No.
No, we like seafood down here in the South too.
Okay, cool.
But you like all the what's the stuff they put on there? The red pepper and all that. You like the Cajun type
Oh
stuff?
yeah, I like cayenne pepper. Yeah, how about
Yeah.
hot sauce? Yeah, well, I mean it's got to have some spice to it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Italians like some. Well, this Italian likes some spicy stuff. Yeah, sure. I
Yeah.
I love Mexican food. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
keep fresh jalapenos around. I put it in everything. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I usually have a little jar of hot sauce in the fridge, and sometimes even put it on spaghetti.
Wow.
Probably not the best way to, but just to give a little spice. I mean, I don't flood it, you know. But
Right.
sometimes I go to the bagel shop, the local bagel shop. I'll have everything bagel, plain cream cheese, and just dabs of hot sauce on the bagel. It's good. It gives a little bit of a kick to it. So yeah. So Derek, what's new? Anything unstable lately?
Well, I installed Manjaro again, so because I just couldn't handle mainline Arch. I couldn't get it working with OBS correctly, so
Okay.
I was like, you know what? 2 months ago, I was running Manjaro and everything was good, and I wiped that installation out for no real reason. And I've been hopping every week ever since. I was like, you know what? Let me go back to Manjaro for a little while. And
Speaking of unstable, how many how many people you know hop every week?
I have hopped
Sorry,
every
Derek.
week, I think, for like 10 weeks straight.
Yeah.
But I'm done with it. I'm done with it for now.
Oh man. You know what's funny?
For a month.
It seems like a lot of people on YouTube, Ubuntu Mate is the perfect distro users love to talk about but don't like to use as an everyday operating system.
Yeah.
That's how I see. Not everybody, of course, but
It does
you
seem
know.
like that's the one everybody wants to promote, like when new users ask about it.
mhm,
Like, yeah, just use Mate.
it works out of the box.
I don't think it's just a new user distro. I mean, I've been on this for a while, and I had my little, I don't want to say rough beginnings. There were some, it just didn't go quite so smooth when I first put it on here with things I wanted to do, and I think part of it was just having a little more patience to spend more time on it and really work with it. And now that I've been on it, I've got this temptation on a couple other ones I like, but then I keep looking at this and I'm thinking, I can't. It's like, cheating or something. So it's just, to me, I've made up my mind, if I'm going to have a second distro, it's going to be on a different machine or a different drive. And, if I want to jump on that once in a while or whatever, but I just, this one's just perfect. The workflow is good. And, it's just, plus I don't want to be reinstalling everything all the time. I know, like we were talking about before the show started, that, you could theoretically, you can clone your home folder or whatever, but the problem with that is I must have done something to this distro where the boot up time changed. Originally I was saying that Michael thought that maybe I had been subject to the Spectre or Meltdown or whatever, but it didn't make sense because my other drive, when I would put MX or Peppermint or another distro on that, it would boot just like that again.
Yeah.
So I'm suspicious I did something to this and can't quite figure it out. So I downloaded 1804 Mate today. I'm going to jump it on the other drive, play with that for a while, and then I'll decide whether I want to wipe this or not, when the time's right. So
I no longer distro hop. I mean, I distro test, I guess is more accurate. But see, when I started doing testing Linux back in '06, I believe, that's all that I did. I mean, you think Derek distro hopped? Derek's Mickey Mouse compared to what I did back in '06, between then and I think 2012, maybe even beyond, because it was all new to me. I was a Windows XP user. Never had Linux in my life, barely heard of it. Once I started using it, oh, this is different. Oh, there's a choice. There's an alternative. It's maybe this might change the world or something. So I had stack of CDs, bootable disk back then, hop this back and forth, ba-bing, ba-boom, ba-boom. Finally kind of settled between Ubuntu Unity and Linux Mint. 1604 Ubuntu Unity to me was the best I've ever. But now that it's not official anymore, Unity sort of, my new home is Ubuntu Mate, so I don't distro hop anymore. I don't find that as exciting anymore. For some reason, I enjoy hardware hopping. Like I got a new Amazon Alexa new toy, like a toy for adults. Ooh, I got a new toy. I bought a new boombox after 20 years. Hey, look at it's just so I find that more exciting. I would love to computer hop and monitor hop, but I don't have the budget for that. But that's what I need to do. But as far as distro hopping, been there, done that, and I think the number one reason why I don't do it anymore is because I have found a home with Ubuntu Mate. This is probably the first distro where this can 99% replace my Windows operating system. It's not 100%. Again, multimedia applications still an issue. Me and Joe were talking off live, but I got Ubuntu, regular Ubuntu GNOME in my Toshiba official. It's all in there, all the updates, 18.04. I wanted to burn a CD disc music to play in my car. No big deal. Downloaded Brasero, and it froze. When Ubuntu Mate, no problem. So once again, for some reason, multimedia apps, at least for me, continue to be an ongoing glitch, random here and there. But if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't use Windows 10 at all. But Windows 10 is my backup for multimedia, and probably a lot of people who use Mac for multimedia apps, you can't beat it. Linux is not there yet, but it's getting better. Other than that, as far as Ubuntu goes, regular Ubuntu, I haven't noticed any problems. It's not as zippy as I want it to be. But is it stable? Yeah, I haven't noticed any crashes or glitches. I thought the new welcome screens was a nice touch. This is how this version works. There's like 3 or 4 different screens. We're asking, can you send us some, telemetry to learn about your system? Yes or no? Simple stuff. Nothing, all transparent. As far as I took some screenshots. I'll probably talk about that maybe Sunday. But yeah, Ubuntu works. If it was faster, I might use it every day. But I think it'll get better. I think Alan Pope says, look, it's still fairly new for them, for the team. I think it'll get better in terms of speed or whatnot, But I'm going to stick with Mate as used to be my gold standard. That's my platinum Linux standard. It just keeps getting better and better. And 17.10 has been pretty solid.
Yeah.
I think there's been only one app that I couldn't quite get it to work. It was like a radio streaming app, but then I downloaded something else and it worked. So it's been almost flawless.
See, Anthony Tucker had a couple, a little bit. I missed it at first. I'm not sure what he's asking about Linux Mint 18.
Anthony, if you have a question, sorry, I didn't quite catch, but if there's a question, please do ask. If there's anybody new here watching, after 2,000 videos, this channel, this Total OS Today channel, TOS Today, Total Operating Systems Today, this was designed primarily for Windows users who were curious about Linux, maybe went to unfriendly forums that were treated without respect. I just got a comment yesterday. He had a question, and they told him to buzz. Yeah. So it's this channel was designed for beginners, newbies, and beyond, as it were, as a home base, a sanctuary for Windows users who were curious but didn't feel comfortable asking or going somewhere else. That's why I'm still here. Now, of course, there's a lot of choices when it comes to Linux type of videos, channels on YouTube. But back in 09, 010, there wasn't a lot. There was no DistroTube back there. There was no Destination. There was no Big Daddy. It was totally different landscape back then. There wasn't enough good, honest opinions on Linux for Windows users. Not Linux for Linux users, for Windows users. Back then there wasn't. That's why I'll say I am a Windows user that promotes Linux. I call it as I see it. So if I tell you something is good, it's good. If it's not good, and this goes for Windows too, not just Linux, by the way. Anyway, that's why I'm here still after 8 years and 2,000 freaking videos. Where's my Tylenol? No, just kidding.
Yeah. Even like you were saying, about Mate being for new users.
Yeah.
That's very true because it is easy to use. But see, to me, that's why I think it's good for all levels of users because you can do a lot more with it if you're an advanced user as well.
Yeah, it's customizable. Yeah.
Yes.
It's not the arch level, of things, which you found out, Derek, even at that, that'll beat even the best people that know how to do things behind the scenes with it or under the hood, so to speak. But this has been really phenomenal. There's some. It's not perfect. I mean, I've said that too. When I don't know if you've experienced this, Carmen, but when you're trying to resize a window, you get the arrow to line up right in the corner. It's like, I can't. I have the speed of my mouse on its lowest setting, and it still seems like it's too fast sometimes. So there's little quirky things like that. I haven't really submitted it as a bug because I don't know if technically it is. It might be.
Yeah,
but
that's a problem. That's a problem in a lot of the GTK themes. They set that border so thin that it is really hard to grab with the mouse.
Yeah,
they need to make that a little wider so you got a little more to grab onto.
And so you think that's what it is? It's more the border.
It's the theme just is.
Because I noticed when I was testing Ubuntu 18.04, even in a VM, I didn't have that problem, and yet the borders didn't. I didn't pay that much attention to see if they were that much wider or not. But I should probably look at that because it worked. I mean, it grabbed it right away. The icon sets, if you want to have, if I'm going to keep any icons on my desktop, which are usually very few, it's something I got to get to right away. If you can't set, well, you can set them individually, but if you set it to a smaller, like instead of 100%, 66% is a nice size. But then it changes it in such a way that it's all across the board, where you have to go into each folder. As you go into a folder, if it's small, then you got to bring them back and play. So that gets a little annoying. But that kind of stuff, I live with it because to me everything else is worth it. For what it does.
Ubuntu Mate may be plain out of the box, but now with the 7-panel changer, you can customize it just like that. I think it's brilliant. And then if you are more advanced as time goes on, you can even make it more customizable. So I don't think that maybe in the past it held up water. Well, it's too plain Jane, but not anymore. I don't think any distro nowadays in 2018 you can say that if it's plain out of the box, it'll stay that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think that's true anymore. Maybe out of the box, but Mate with the 7 choices on the panel, I think, Derek, you were looking at that. I think it's brilliant.
Yep. Yeah.
Absolutely. Click and go, yeah.
Their version of Unity, they call Mutiny,
yes,
is almost a mirror image of the old Unity desktop. It's hard to tell that thing if you did a screenshot of it. People would think with the global menu and with that left-hand dock, oh, that's Unity.
Right. Right.
Now, when you open up the full-screen launcher, you can tell it's a little different. But other than that, they even have the heads-up display, where you can search through menu applications.
Yes. Yeah.
They have all that. So.
Well, I think it's
what more do you want?
No.
Yeah. Did you watch Destination Linux 2 this week with Martin Wimpress? I got through about an hour and 20 minutes of it. It's like 2:20 is the time length.
I caught the first half of it. Yeah, I didn't catch
2 hours. Wow.
Yeah, one of the things he was talking about was some of the NVIDIA settings and things like that. And, there's a lot of good things that I think that are going to be coming down the pike and actually are coming out in 1804, but he's still talking about some other things. One of the things I didn't know, because Ryan raised a question from Barbara about maybe different workspaces having different wallpaper backgrounds. And Martin had raised the point that they have a software in the software boutique called Variety that actually does it for the different screens, the different wallpaper or the different monitors. So, which I didn't know that. So I did install it, but I haven't played with it yet today. Whether that'll come down, it's like he was saying basically, and any other developer, is you pick and choose your battles. It's what's more important, what you'd like to have or what you need to have, kind of a thing. So I don't want to let it all the way so they can go watch it. But what I saw that interview, it was really, really fantastic, and it gives you a lot of insight to the Mate and stuff. So
yeah, I did an interview with Martin. It's got to be at least 2 years now. Before Ubuntu Mate exploded, as it were, and I had a feeling. I think this is going to be a Linux for the future, and he's an awesome guy to talk to. I think his friends call him Wimpy. The last name is Wimpress. But I hope to chat with him. He says he would have time maybe next month to chat here on the channel and catch up after a few years. But maybe for myself, I got comfortable with Mate because it brings back that GNOME 2 look, which was Ubuntu was my first test of it back in '06, and it was easy. It was comfortable for a Windows user. It wasn't a shocking interface like GNOME is. Oh my God, what's that? How do I? And no, you just click and go. And I think people missed that when Ubuntu went to Unity. Not that Unity was hard. It wasn't. It really wasn't. I think the whole thing where, oh my God, why did I think that was overblown. But now that Unity is gone, oh my God, where's Unity?
Right, they're doing the same thing again because now all the 1804 users, I mean, what happens when you upgrade 1604 to 1804? Does your Unity go away? Or are they installing the GNOME desktop? Well, no.
I think there's.
I haven't actually looked into it. That's why I was asking.
Did I ask Alan that on the? I don't know.
Yeah, because a lot of people are not going to want their desktop environment to change.
I got a feeling it's going to change.
Yeah.
I got a feeling it's going to change. So that's my guess. So be warned. If you don't like GNOME, don't upgrade Ubuntu. Stick with the 1604 LTS. That's good. 2021, something like that.
Yeah.
It works. I mean, it's good. I had it on 2 machines. I had no problems.
Yeah, I had 1604 on a machine too, and it ran fine. I ran it for almost 2 years. So.
Yeah, it was solid.
Stable distros on some machines, Toss.
It was funny because after I did a review on 1604, I said on 2 machines it was flawless. I had a couple friends. This is the worst version of Ubuntu I've ever used. What are you talking about? What do you want me to tell you? Linux is predictably unpredictable. What can I tell you? I believe them, but again, it's just a random luck. Now, if you buy a machine like a Dell or System 76, it better work because that's what you paid for. So, but no, 1604, I didn't have any issues. I don't recall. So, but Mate is a little faster for older machines. I've tested that. Obviously, if you like Linux Mint, Peppermint, Linux Lite, MX17 for older machines to revive them. Ubuntu, the current Ubuntu is probably not the one to go with. You can probably get away with 2 gigs of RAM, but you notice it's going to probably crawl.
Yeah, I tried it in a VM, and with nothing running, it was using 1.5 gigs of RAM.
Right.
That's way too heavy.
Yeah, that's double than what my Mate uses, if not more.
Oh, that's 5 times what Ubuntu probably.
Well, Ubuntu, yeah, really. But I don't think Canonical is focusing on reviving older machines. You notice it's only officially a 64-bit download, right?
Yeah, they got rid of the 32-bit desktop image.
But
I think you can still get a 32-bit server image, and then of course you could install GNOME on that.
Yeah.
But then you got to do that through the command line. So.
No, but look, there are choices. Even Alan says, look, you don't have to go with GNOME. You can go with Ubuntu, Ubuntu Mate. There are choices, and I think that's why Canonical is probably thinking, since there are choices, we'll just stick with the 64-bit. Alan explained it beautifully. If those of you watching or watch this later, if you haven't seen my interview with Alan, I have a shorter version of it. We spoke over an hour. I got it down to like 45 minutes. Got to the point. He explains it, past, present, future of Ubuntu. Very, very nicely described, I thought. And explains why they did what they did, and I'm like, yeah, I'm cool with that. I have no problem. But again, if GNOME is not for you and never was in general, there are other choices. For myself, I think for beginners, Ubuntu Mate, Linux Mint, you can't beat it. Of course, there's Zorn, that's also designed for beginners, and the list goes on. Peppermint. Even the latest Ubuntu GNOME, if you have enough RAM, at least 4 gigs of RAM, at least, it should be okay for beginners.
It looks good, yeah. I mean, it's a beautiful distro.
It is very good documentation for what I peeked at. But you need 4 gigs of RAM or more. If you don't, if you have an older machine with XP or Vista with 2 gigs, just go with the Ubuntu Mate or something else. But it's stable. It looks good. It works for the most part. Burning CDs, I couldn't do it, but that's okay. It isn't like I do it every day or something.
Another thing is I noticed that there's a number of packages on the new Ubuntu 1804 that were installed as snaps by default.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going. They have been officially supporting Snap since 1604.
Yeah.
I think something like that. Yeah, that might be the future of the way to install, Snap packages where the app, all the dependencies are all packaged.
Yeah.
I think that's the theory behind it. So there's not searching for extra dependencies to install.
Right. It's all contained. It's all sandboxed.
Yeah, I've tested Spotify and something else as a Snap. There's also App Image. Kden Live I run as an App Image. It works
Always
for me.
install GIMP as a snap if it's not installed by default. I know that's one of the snaps I usually get.
Yeah.
Can I comment about?
Yeah.
Anthony, I did a quick search because I don't know anything about what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And there was a thread. I did put it in the comments, but I also went and seen, because I can't put a link in here as not a non-moderator, but ltsp.org. So I don't know if that'll help you out, Anthony, in what you're looking to do, but there are, I just did a quick search and a bunch of links came up, but this sounds like it's the source of what you're looking to do. And I'm actually on a benefits or an explanation page on there. And so it might tell you what you're looking to get out of your Mint.
Okay. I replied to that one gentleman. I think it was a guy who was treated not fairly on one of the Linux forums. I forget what he asked. Anyway, I asked him, sorry about your problem. It can happen. I told him, you're welcome to come to my channel and ask the question. I can't guarantee an answer. You know, but I told him I have none of that nonsense here. If it's going to come to that, then that person's gone. But I don't recall ever having to boot anybody. I've been very lucky lately.
I get a lot of people asking support questions on my channel, on my Facebook, Twitter, and half the time I can answer them. Half the time, I mean, they're asking questions about hardware I don't even own. So
well,
usually I just direct them to the proper support channels most of the time.
Well, I prefer they ask here because if I don't know, maybe somebody else will, just to speed up time. And sometimes we can't. But I'm just being honest with them, and they're cool with that. So
Well, the other thing, Anthony, that you could do is, and I know we're all friends of the community, so Toss doesn't mind me mentioning other shows. We do Big Daddy Linux on Saturday night, and Michael Tunell is a developer, and so and there are actually a couple other people that come out from time to time that are developers, like Crystal knows a lot about the behind the scenes stuff too. For what she does. So maybe come, watch the Saturday Night Live show on Big Daddy Linux, and maybe if Michael's on, ask him, and he might be able to answer you. Because that's the thing, we don't we have different levels of expertise. I'm far from, I know a lot of the hardware stuff, but hopefully you'd find your answer potentially there too. So
I try to do these live streams at different times for the people like in different time zones, because I know there have been people in the past, hey, I finally got in, I've been meaning to say hello, or just to say hello or to ask a question. I thought about doing the After Biddle show, but that would be at 12:30 in the morning. I guess that's not too late, but I don't know if I could stay up after 2 hours or listening and chatting, which is fine, but it's kind of tiring after. I mean, I can see poor like Rago's face. Okay, I'm done. It's time to move on. But I thought about doing the late show. I may try that one of these weekends. Like instead of a Friday, I'll do like a 12:30 a.m. Sunday morning Eastern time after that show, and see if anybody comes up. Probably look, somebody in the world will. Somebody in a different time zone saying, great, I caught you now because of where I live and this and that. But that's one of the.
If you did something like that.
Maybe I'll try.
If you think about it, there's 6 hours. Like London's 6 hours ahead.
Yeah, you get them in the morning.
It would make sense. Right. It would make sense. My only problem is if I do it at 12:31 in the morning, I'd be like, hey, I'll go to this exciting episode.
It's limited to an hour or something.
I guess I could do that. Yeah, just for an experiment. I guess I could have my coffee ready. No food. That'll put me to sleep. One thing about food that night, late, you eat that, you'll get that quick perk, and then, hey,
I'll
have to, maybe next week. Joe, like, are you up for that?
Yeah,
Joe?
it'd be up. Yeah,
Okay. I know you're an hour behind, so it wouldn't be it would be 11:30 for you, right?
yeah.
May have to think about that maybe next week. We'll see.
But
Well,
even then, some nights I get you get a little draggy type, but then you get the second wind and boom, you're going.
right.
You know, next thing you know, it's
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning. It's like, what am I doing up?
Okay. Maybe I'll upload a poll. Would you like to see a late like I've done a few late night overnight Linux shows. I think 3 of them. Not thinking anyone would come on, and people came on. It was like after midnight, and people came on. I was surprised.
Well,
So
that'd be a really long night for you when you think about it, because usually if you do Life in Linux, then you do Come on Biddle, then you're going to do this.
it would be between
Your marathon.
8. I would be straight unless I didn't jump on the Biddle show, take a nap.
Yeah.
You know, send Rocco my regrets. You know, if I could then go on, I would probably have to take a break. That would be much, 4 or 5 hours straight. That would be that's like a marathon, yeah.
Well, getting
but,
back on
yeah.
food real quick, I got to tell you,
Yeah.
there's a place in the town south of us here. It's called Bushel and Peck, and you can order their stuff online. They have got some of the most phenomenal sriracha sauces and things like that.
Sriracha.
They've got one called Cherry Bomb. They got another one that's made with ghost peppers. Ghost peppers are they don't melt the metal off of a car. I think you get the strong enough stuff. So
Right.
if you like hot stuff, you might want to consider those. They're not the cheapest bottles, but they're all made here. They're made by those people, and they're bottled, and it's phenomenal. I wish you could see the building itself, because it's this big kind of like retro. It's one big, large, like 2 stores they combined in this old building. And they serve phenomenal food. They've got their own prepackaged stuff they make, and it's really cool. And this stuff is high quality. It's the best. But if you like hot sauce, that's the place to go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tomorrow night I'll be going to a local place called Spicy Gringos, across the river in West Virginia. One of my friends is his side gig is a jazz singer. He's a certified financial planner out of Pittsburgh, and he loves to sing. That's awesome. So he married one of my best friends from high school, Marion. Hello, Marion. She doesn't really watch the show, but I'll say hello, Marion, anyway. And Jim. But they'll be playing tomorrow night at Spicy Gringos. So should I walk in talking my Latino accent, man? No, but I think the place is run by Italians, come to think of it. But hey, it's good food, Spicy Gringos. So anybody in West Virginia, check out Spicy Gringos. If you're there, I'll be there tomorrow night. Say hello. The odds are small we'll meet, but hey, you never know. Kenneth says, made lo mein with a touch of sriracha sauce. Comes as a kit. As good a restaurant, got it at Sam's Club. Ah, okay. He likes it. Anthony likes it hot. I do too. Depends on how hot the hot sauce is. I remember one time in Orlando, a Smoky Bones restaurant. They just opened it up. I knew nothing about it. Met a friend of mine for lunch. I ordered a sausage sandwich or something. Nice big sandwich. So we're talking, BSing, and I saw the hot sauce. So I poured it on my sandwich, thinking it was like Kroger's or Walmart hot sauce. Oh my God, I took a bite. It was like, so John, so what happened? I swear, on fire. I looked at it, was like that habanero. Right?
Oh, habaneros. I love habanero peppers. Yeah.
But you're
One goes
supposed
a long
to
way.
drops, not pour it like a waterfall. I wasn't thinking, because we're BSing. Hey man, I can't believe the girl, literally tears had a glass of water. I didn't taste the sandwich. All I remember is fire. I'll never. And this was years ago. So be careful, guys. If you try something, read the freaking documentation. How many times I got to tell myself? But
well, usually those really hot ones, they put a warning on it. It'll have a skull and crossbones or something on it. You just didn't look at it.
it was probably a good sandwich, Smoky Bones. But yeah, next time put like a red flag on top or a skull and bones or something on it, because it was like, oh my God. I learned my lesson. From then on, when I go to a restaurant, let me look at it. Oh, it's that. I'll put a drop. Whew. I don't know how that guy did it on Man vs. Food. I think he was in Pittsburgh. and he was trying the homemade devil hot sauce, and they had him sign an affidavit, I believe. We will not be responsible for your health. Look it up if something happens. He did it in Pittsburgh. I think it was a Quaker restaurant, Quaker State restaurant or something like that.
Yeah.
So they gave him a relatively small plate of wings. It wasn't much, but when it's dipped in the devil sauce, and they gave him a glass of milk. I guess milk kind of cools it. I think it's disgusting, personally. But I remember he took a first bite. I think, oh, he's starting to sweat, Anyway, he pulled it off, and I think that was the episode. It may have been a different one where he's walking over to the freezer in the back. He opens up the door. He tells the cameraman, "Just stay there, man." He walks in and locks the door. That was the end of the episode. He locked himself in the freezer. I don't think I could do that. I'm adventurous, but not that. I'll try the middle of the road sauce that they make if I ever go there, just to try it. But the devil sauce, that can be dangerous.
You want to learn a lesson? I was a kid. When we were kids, we used to go. In Chicago, there's alleyways, and some people didn't have garages or whatever, and they just had a 4-foot cyclone fence, and they'd put their gardens up along there. And I remember we used to raid this one garden. Well, she fixed us because one year she planted all these peppers. And we thought, oh, man. So I went and grabbed a bunch of them. The whole thing bit it. Jalapenos or whatever. Oh, my God. Sitting there with the water, which is the worst thing you could do is put the water. You get milk or get something like that to soak it up, bread. But no, we're sitting there with water. The water hose out of our mouths. It was so hot I couldn't breathe.
Well, if you want to strip off paint off the wall, just grab the pepper, man. It'll probably strip the paint off, read. If you're not sure, you're walking around, grab that hot sauce and read it. And since that day, that was back in 2000. That was before I moved back up here to Ohio. I'll never forget it, man. It was. I learned my lesson. Dumb diggos like me, right?
One thing I noticed about watching the Man versus Food guy too. Did you notice how he got bigger every season?
Wow.
I mean, his weight kind of got out of control there.
Yeah.
He didn't seem like the jock type of guy.
No, I mean he wasn't skinny at the beginning, but it did seem like. Remember, he was wearing that jacket, and that jacket got tight by about the third season.
Yeah, I didn't think he was the type to join the club after eating those hot sauces or something.
Yeah, I just wonder how much of that had to do with his job on that channel, eating stuff.
I don't think he does it anymore. I think he may have gotten health issues, not to be funny, but maybe so, I
bet.
Yeah.
Well, there was another guy that used to do all kinds of challenges. I can't remember.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, and he... I remember he had a challenge for 30 days that all he was going to eat from morning till night was McDonald's. And he put on, I don't know how much weight. I mean, he went and had his cholesterol checked. It was so out of whack. It was sickening. So I don't doubt for 1 minute because he, a lot of this stuff, if I'm remembering the show you're talking about, a lot of stuff he eats is greasy and fatty and all that, right?
Yeah. A lot of them are not spicy challenges. I mean, he does some of those, but most of them are portions. Like they bring you, 5 pounds of food, and can you finish it, in 2 hours or whatever. So that was the kind of stuff he was doing on the show.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. I was watching. I don't know if it was Charlize Theron or whatever. There was some movie that I saw something pop up on one of the YouTube channels I follow, and they were talking about these different stars and how they had to do things for different shows or whatever. And she had to put on, was it 50 pounds? I think for this, which sounded ridiculous. And she looked like it. She looked, because you know how thin she was for an actress, and she had this big gut and everything. And it's like I can't believe that's got to be any good for anybody, who, even as an actress, when you see some of these actors or actors or whatever putting all this weight on for a role and they have to take it all the way off, or what's the other guy that I'm thinking of that does the Lincoln commercials too?
Matthew McConaughey, where he lost all that weight for Dallas Buyers Club.
He
should not have done that. There's serious health issues losing as much weight as he did as fast as he did.
Exactly.
And he regrets doing that. He's done interviews saying that was not good for his body.
Yeah.
He may never look the same again after.
We're talking. I had to grab this out of the fridge. I got this at Kroger's.
Espresso.
This is really good. It's like $4 on sale. It's a fairly large bottle. Cold brew cafe with almond milk. I'll give a plug to this company in Kroger's. It's pretty good. It's not bad. We were talking about food, and I was drinking like flavored water. Pomegranate. It didn't quite hit me, but this is pretty good. So.
Was that like a cold coffee or what is it?
Yeah, it's cold coffee. It's Califia. Check it out if you have it over there in Wisconsin or Derek Downs. Califia. Mm-hmm. It's good. Yeah, it's not bad. It's kind of like a Starbucks, but it's not as expensive,
Is there a decaffeinated version of it, though, or no?
I don't know.
Kind of defeats the purpose of espresso, though, doesn't it?
Well, this says 80 calories per serving. You see it at the top there?
Well, that's not too bad. There must not be a lot of sugar in it.
It doesn't taste like it would be a lot of sugar in this. It tastes, it's not, it doesn't really give you that spike like like a real espresso. But that's not what I bought. It has the flavor express, but not that kick, Yeah. Again, it reminds me kind of like a Starbucks type of a thing, just not as expensive. But I got it at Kroger's about a week ago or so, and it's something different. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kenneth says, Man versus Food. Yeah, he quit. It was because he was on another series. Okay. It may have been health issues. I don't know. I enjoyed watching the show. I think he was genuine. I think he was really, those problems he was having, or those challenges, I think they were real. It's not something I could do, especially with the devil sauce. I'm not sure I could do that, yeah.
The spicy challenges, he's not really hurting himself with that, but when some of them where they were bringing him like 7 pounds of food, and he's got to eat it. No one should do that to themselves.
Yeah.
I can't believe even spicy, though, if you do enough of it, it's got to take its toll a little bit. Because
most of those, you're not really eating much food because it's so spicy. Like the hot wing challenge that Toss was talking about, they probably only gave him 5 or 6 wings because
right.
So,
right. No, it wasn't the quantity of food. It was the ingredients.
Could you take it? It's not really hurting you, the spice. It's just a lot of people just give up.
Yeah, John JP said the same thing. He quit because he gained tons of weight and got depressed. So, which would make sense.
If I didn't eat all day and waited to the next day, I probably could eat a whole, 5-pound burger. I probably could. Or a whole pizza, or I probably could.
But that's not good for you either, because that affects your metabolism.
Right.
No.
Yeah. If I was on a show and then they challenged me to do it one time, I would do it, but I wouldn't make it happen. Now, he made a habit of it. That's the problem. Yeah. That's a heck of a thing to do, man. But it's not. Like I said, if I didn't eat it all, I probably could. Of course, I would feel like crap later, like Derek says. There are times
he lost one of those challenges one time, one of those big food challenges where he got about halfway through, and he actually got up from the table, went outside, and threw up on the pavement outside. That was on one of the very first shows, I think, that he did. And that's against the rules. You can't go to the bathroom and you can't throw up. So he lost that challenge.
Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. I don't recall seeing that. But, yeah, it seems like that's what the viewers are hoping to see, a real-life person just give it up. Yeah. If I had to guess, for the ratings, But he did that show for a few years, so I don't know. I do remember that hot wing sauce. I'm like, wow, this guy's suffering. But he pulled it off. Kind of
like, what was it, The Great Outdoors with John Candy with the old 96, and he thought he was done, and they're pointing to the gristle, and he's going, and he gets home. Oh. There's no way. I don't think that's humanly possible to eat a 96-ounce steak, but what do I know?
I like steak, but that's, yeah. Mm-hmm. When I lived in Orlando down in Florida, I would try all different kinds of stuff. I got a friend of mine who actually knew how to cook. He moved back to California, but I would try different things. And there was a place down there, and they're still around, called CC's Pizza.
Yeah.
All you can eat. Back then, it was all you can eat for like $3.
Yeah, now it's up to $5.
Yeah, which is still fair. But man, I could chuck that down the pizza back, but then when I left the store, I was like, oh, too much. Yeah, it was $3 back then, back in the 90s.
I should ask my dad if they're still, because they had one in Port Charlotte, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, CC's is still around. I see them around these parts a lot.
Yeah, self-serve. Just walk up and grab what you want. Different types of pizza. I think a little bit of dessert, drinks. It wasn't
they had
bad.
all this stuff on there. Yeah,
It wasn't bad. Yeah.
I've never eaten at one of them, but they advertise around here $5 buffet. So. Which is, I guess, a great deal. You can sit there all day, and I guess some people do will just hang out at CC's all day to get their $5 worth.
Yeah, I enjoyed also the Chinese buffet, seafood all you can eat, or mixed. Wasn't bad mixed food like that down there. I mean, Orlando back then, even all kinds of restaurants. I guess there's that place is still growing. I called my friend Mitch down in Orlando last week. He said it's still places popping up everywhere for food. I guess there's enough population for that. But there was no shortage back then and now. I guess when you have that many people, I mean, like in any given state, people got to eat. So, hello, Coding, welcome.
See, I don't know if it's nationwide. We've got a chain here that's growing. It's called Portillo's. Got like a hot dog and beef. Chicago beef type thing, and ever since the original owners sold off, I don't think it's as good. It's not bad, but it's not as good. But it's definitely a production thing. I mean, you could walk in there and it's like boom, 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 right down the line. It's such a system, and their menu has grown quite a bit from what it used to be, especially because people are eating differently now. But if you like good Chicago dogs, things like that, which I don't know if they really have much down south. With those type of things. I think it's kind of like each demographic has its specialty of foods, I suppose.
I just had a thought. With all that Linux has to offer, you would think there would be a food app. Watch your calories, what to eat. Maybe there is. I don't know. Is there?
I bet if I searched on GitHub right now, somebody will have it.
Somebody,
and it's probably going to be a terminal app.
Somebody forked someone, or
Oh, yeah.
somebody forked to get a Hello, Mark.
Hey, Mark. Yeah.
He says Portillo's is awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Richard says all food and no interesting, or no all food and no Linux interesting. Yeah, food's more fun, I would say, when you're hungry. I'm not hungry now, but hey,
Yeah.
I've never seen a toss stream that didn't end up on food, though.
Once you get 2 Italians or more involved, that's the new rule on the show, Derek. So if you don't like it, no, just kidding. But
I've seen you talking about food on your own with nobody on.
That's true. That is true. But now we have another Italian like Joe. Forget about it. It's got to be food all the way. Coding Commander says Cannoli Kitchen in Boca Raton has the best. I like that. The Cannoli Kitchen.
I like cannolis.
I love cannolis. Yeah. I could eat that all day, but it's high in sugar. Oh my god!
Oh, it's horrible for you.
Yeah, that's why you just have the one in the blue moon. Coding likes to eat while programming in a Linux environment.
Nice.
Coding, maybe you can make a food app. Speaking of a food app for Linux, there you go. For those of you who are joining late, this is usually a tech channel, but this is a.
Well, there was no Linux releases this week to talk about. So.
Yeah, there was nothing going. It was totally quiet this week. Yeah, no, but this is officially my 2001 video upload after 8 years. So first of all, thank you. Yeah. 8 years.
Quite the achievement, sir.
I didn't expect to be here. I've talked about this before, but I started this in 2010. I wanted to learn more about Linux. I got intrigued by an alternative to Windows that wasn't Mac, and it was mainly free. I'm like, sure, why not? And started in 2011. Didn't know how long I would be here. 2011, I will give a shout out to IG Infinitely Galactic, my first podcast. So I continued doing the Linuxy stuff. I think in 2012 or 2013, I started doing stuff with Spatry. Of course, the Sunday Night News and Nonsense reports and the other. That's when I knew I think I had something with the channel. More and more Windows users started coming in, say thank you. You helped me, you treated us with respect, and you answered questions, and that's why I'm still here. So we'll see what happens from now on with the channel. I like to do random things, as you have heard tonight. But this is still primarily a Linux channel for beginners, I think, or a food channel for beginners, one or the other.
Well, you always end up talking about like hot dogs and bottles of wine.
That's true.
Yeah, right.
That's true. Usually
Chocolate.
not during a review, though. If it's by myself, usually not. I don't think I inject food, do I? I don't think I inject food when I talk about Ubuntu.
Sometimes. Once
Maybe.
in a
All
while.
right. Okay. Well, it's an Italian show. What do you want? That.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I
Uh,
want to refer, you talk about Linux. I want to refer back to a comment I think that we missed before that I thought was interesting. Kenneth
Go ahead.
Bouchard, he said, because I caught it, he said, lately, he's had to use Linux to fix Windows more than anything else.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, but a lot of people do that. A lot of people keep like a live USB of Ubuntu around, really to rescue their Windows install.
yeah.
Yeah, back in the days, like if say you got a virus and it would lock you out, but you had to get your important documents or those family photos, you could boot up with Linux. From Linux, go into your Windows partition and extract those files.
Exactly, because you don't have a live USB of Windows. But luckily, every Linux distribution allows you to make a live USB of their distro. So.
Or like a friend of mine had a Windows he had a hard drive going bad. It wasn't Windows' fault. I don't think it was just one of those things. It was starting to go bad, but he had important legal documents. I booted in with whatever I had, a Linux Mint stick or whatever, extracted those documents and photos. We bought them. We went to the local office, Max, and got him a new hard drive. I installed Linux, and he's cool. But yeah, that saved his documents just from a hard drive going bad. It can be done. I mean, you want to catch it before it completely craps out on you, obviously.
I've done the same thing with a failing hard drive before.
Yes.
I'm able,
Yeah.
and if it doesn't fail immediately, and most hard drives don't, you can tell when they start acting up. It's not like it's going to be one day you wake up, it's a total loss. Usually you can tell your computer's acting up, and if you put a live USB stick in and it's working fine, it's probably a hard drive issue because, of course, a live USB stick doesn't use your hard drive.
The only difference I beg to differ on that is an SSD. An SSD, they're less likely to fail, but if they do, they're basically a solid state board. They're just a circuit board.
That is
You're not
different.
going to get any warning with them. But
that's true. Yeah.
I've never rescued a SSD. That's interesting. Yeah, all of it spinning disks is when I rescued.
Yeah. I don't know.
And that's the other thing you mentioned, Carmine, about the about Ubuntu maybe being a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Have you ran that on an SSD at all too to see if that makes a difference?
I haven't. I'm sure it would be faster. But I believe Alan is aware of the speed issues. It's not just me. And I think, look, even Unity when it first came out wasn't all that zippy and fast, but it got better as time went on. And I think Ubuntu with GNOME will. Coding Commander never failed to crack me up. Yes.
You just got demonetized.
I just got speak. Coding, you're so funny. Call me later. No, just kidding. But what was I going to say? No, speaking of demonetized, I got demonetized even before I started this stream. Can you believe that?
They're on to you.
I'm like, I didn't freaking do anything. I know what it was. Geez, Coding Commander's going to be on. Let's demonetize him now. Just get it over with. Thanks, Coding. Seriously, right before I'm going through the video manager, whatever. I'm like, I haven't done anything yet. They just know. They know as soon as Cody comes on, bam, Thank you, Cody, for making me laugh. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Yes, Richard, SSD makes a difference. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fat Elvis mentions he puts his drives in plastic with rice and places them in the ice box, the freezer, I guess. And I've heard of that before. I guess you have a drive failing, I guess it stops.
Yeah, that's a hit or miss with the freezing.
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
I've heard people say this before, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. To me, the problem with that, here's the downside to that, though, is if that doesn't work and you have something so critical you have to get off, it makes it either that much more challenging or next to impossible, from what I understand, if you were to send it out to a facility where they do clean repairs, where it's in a clean room and all that, because it could cause, you could potentially trap moisture inside in the internal workings of the drive or whatever. They'd rather have you just send it ahead of time. I had a backup drive years ago that was starting to click on me, and I didn't care about the stuff that was on there.
Mm-hmm.
But what I did do with an external one that I had, which unfortunately had some really personal stuff on there from when my mom was, her last days, things like that. And I went to reformat because I had a Windows issue. And guess what? I forgot to unplug the drive, and I formatted that drive. Now, it should have still been recoverable, but the place I took it to said they could do it, and I took them at their word, and they kept turning it on, turning it off, turning it on, turning it. Then finally the drive would click, 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 click. They damaged the drive. I had no idea at that time where I could send it, and when I did find a place out in California, they were said you could start at $750 on up, and it's like, is it worth it? Isn't it? It's like, till this day it bothers me that I didn't recover those files. But usually, if you have a mechanical drive going, it's going to be either you're going to get kind of a high pitched whine, or you'll start getting a click, or even before that, if you see that you're getting response issues like lag and things like that. That's kind
I
of
suppose that's one of the
indicator.
advantages of a hard drive like that versus SSD. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with, older technology as far as hard drive. I mean, it's fast enough for me, but it would be nice to go faster. But right, Joe, at least with with the spinning when you have warning. I don't know. But I suppose if you have enough backups, it won't matter, right?
Yeah, nowadays storage is so cheap. Like I've got an external SSD I can back up to. A lot of people have more than one drive in their machine. You can just set a RAID up and,
So
just mirror your drives. Yeah.
That's my latest one, Toshiba.
Yeah.
I picked this up on Amazon. This is a 1 terabyte,
Yeah.
like $50. Backup and backup again. I got 3 external hard drives, multiple USB sticks, of course, multiple computers. There's no such thing as too many backups, in my opinion.
I've got a 2 gig Samsung, a 2 terabyte Samsung external SSD drive, and I don't think I even paid $100 for that thing. So, storage is cheap.
Yeah, nowadays.
Yeah.
By the way, check out the links below. If you would like to support the channel, there is an Amazon link below along with PayPal. T-shirts, if you're interested. If you'd like to support the channel. Derek, I believe you have Patreon still, right?
I do, yeah.
All right, check out DistroTube. He has Patreon. And, if you'd like to support this quality, I hope it's quality content. If not, then get off my channel. No, I'm just kidding. But Coding lost Coding, how do you lose a hard drive? She says, seriously. You mean you misplaced it? Is that what it is? Google Drive. Yes, I do use Google Drive sometimes. Maybe that might be a good topic for a future show. Top choices for cloud services. I don't use them that much, but yeah.
I use Dropbox. I've used Dropbox for years. It works. I mean, if you want to store something.
Yeah, I mean, there is the issue with security and all that. I think for the most part, they probably are secure as can be. Maybe.
Dropbox has got some issues, I think, possibly with security. But
do they?
Yeah. If you're not storing anything vital, it's okay. I use it as a dump. If I have something on my phone, I dump up there. I get what I want, and then I take it off and store it in my storage drive, internal storage drive.
I use Google Drive usually because I've had good luck with that. But I'm assuming it's safe. I really don't know. I mean, I would never put.
Well, a lot of people like the iCloud. I'm not an Apple guy, so I don't know anything about that one. But a lot of people use it.
Another one. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't put like tax documents on the cloud, but backup videos, music, some photos, stuff. I don't care if it gets taken. It's there's nothing critical about it. But Google Drive comes in handy, sure. Especially if you're traveling. If you happen to travel on vacation and you don't want to carry a hard drive with you or whatever. That might be a topic for a future show, yeah.
Yeah, if I think the Dropbox gives you 2 gigs free, where Google's got 15 gigs. So if you need space,
yeah, something like that. It's not bad. Coding says someone breaks to her Google, they're going to steal pictures. She has some critical videos. I bet they are.
Yeah.
All they're going to steal is my .file configs, my Xmonad configs.
Yes, those are a hot item nowadays on the market. They're worth a lot of money. No, I don't know. Yeah, that might be a topic for a future video. Maybe, top drives or cloud services.
It'd be interesting to do a topic like that in regards to how you back up, syncing your services to your backup solution.
Right. Well, I use Google because of my phone and my tablet. It's just convenient. I have an iPad, but I don't use the iCloud. In fact, I seldom use my iPad mini. Usually to stream music, mainly spring and summer. I take because it's reliable. I don't have a lot of stuff on it. It just speeds up. It comes on fast. It boots up. It works. I use that mainly spring and summer, the iPad mini. It has pretty decent speakers. But I don't use the iCloud. I don't have enough on it. Well, plus I can't drag and drop like I can. I can't hook up the iPad to my Linux, so I don't use it.
Yeah, Apple's pretty locked down on their products.
Yeah, that's a plus and a minus, and I already knew that by now. I don't have a problem. I got hooked up mainly in Windows, and I probably got to upgrade iTunes or update it. It's been God knows months, probably. Kenneth says remember Bear Share? I do remember Bear Share, actually. Yeah, it's been a while. Kenneth, yeah.
Comparing the Windows, one of the things that I was surprised that they didn't incorporate in there is like what's in here is when you open up a folder and you want to drag and drop something into another folder, you can just open up more tabs within that window, where you have to still open up individual windows in Microsoft. And I'm surprised that that's something that they didn't catch on to, because that's actually a really nice feature.
Yeah.
Because then, especially if you're trying to save on real estate too, if you're doing something and you just want to have that folder, like I have my workflow, especially when I'm doing my online store stuff, I don't want to have all these windows open all over the place. So, it's nice to be able to just open tabs and then just drag something from there over to the tab and your file's there.
I thought I read Microsoft is getting rid of OneDrive. Derek, did you see that maybe?
I haven't read that. No, that would be interesting.
Thought I saw something. Sometimes they'll send. Like sometimes at night or in the morning, I'll wake up. I'll have my phone. I'll go to my newsfeed and send bookmark that. But I thought I saw that. Maybe not. Maybe it's in my dreams. I don't know.
No, you're correct, because they've been talking about that for several months.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I don't use OneDrive. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just didn't need it.
Yeah.
I
heard that a while back.
Okay. There was something about the Google. Google sent me a message. Maybe you got this too, Derek. Dear partner, in August last year, we announced our commitment to comply with Europe's new General Data Protection Regulation. Last month, we shared more about our GDPR policy, contract, and product. I haven't read it. Have you guys read this?
I haven't either. Yeah.
Okay. Controller responsibilities, consent support, choice and control over ads, personalization. Thanks, Google. I haven't read it.
Without reading it, I suspect what it has to do is because of some of Facebook's shenanigans. Now they have to comply, with certain laws, like in the EU. What are you collecting on these people? That kind of thing.
To be more transparent, I'm cool with that. I probably should read it. I got something from Yahoo. They're changing their terms of policy on whatever. Do you accept? I said no. For my Yahoo Mail. I don't know why I still have it. Alan Pope cracked the joke. Geez, Tots, what are you still back in the 90s?
Yeah. I actually got some Yahoo Mails too.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it works. It's not secure, but it's reliable. At least it wasn't secure. I don't know if it is secure now.
Yeah.
That's like that. I did a review of Windows 10, and I read their EULA on screen.
Yeah.
And it's all this scary stuff, and you get to the end. Do you agree to this? And I'm recording this, of course, for my channel. I say, no, of course I don't agree. I would never agree to this in real life. But I'm recording a video, so I'm going to agree to it right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know if anybody actually reads that, how they could ever click, yes, I agree, to give you basically control of everything on my computer. Basically, nothing is private. You can't sue Microsoft if anything goes bad. You agree not to sue them. That's part of the EULA. It's just a scary document.
Companies sometimes don't play fair, Derek.
Yeah.
I remember years ago, I signed a deal with Dish Network. A 2-year deal. No HBO, nothing. Just the channels I watched. 2 TVs. It was like $50 a month, maybe even less. It wasn't a bad deal. No
That's a
internet. I
good
mean,
deal.
that was extra, you know. But I took it, and I remember one day, it was about a year later, some of my channels were gone, like Travel Channel. There may have been a military history channel, not history, but something. They were just like, oh, well, gee, I thought. So I called. And now the guy was very polite. He says, well, sir, we changed our channel package tiers, you know, whatever. However, you can still get that if you move up
Mhm.
for 15. I said, whoa, 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 whoa. Now, I wasn't blaming the young man or the guy on the phone. He's just a worker. I said, well, I signed a contract for this, for these channels. I should get these channels. Now, if my contract expired, I'm with you. Dish, my contract is up. You can do what you want, and I can do what I want. He says, well, sir, we changed. I can't, but I can give you a discount. I said, no, no, no. I signed for that, whatever that was, the $45 plan for that, so I want my channel. He couldn't do it. Okay, no problem. So I switched to Comcast. Now it's more. It's a lot more. But it's reliable. It works. I get the I get the internet I need. And I was ticked off because obviously they reserve the right to do what they want to do to you, but not in reverse. You know, and it wasn't like I wanted to, like, you know, sue them or I just give me what I paid for.
Right.
They couldn't
Right.
do it. So I got mad. I never went. And I keep getting things in them. We want you back and this. I said, just leave me alone for now, okay? You know, they probably all do it. I would imagine DirecTV does it. But you know, if you sign a level of service for a certain amount of time, and this is to any company rep or CEO, just honor the contract, man. We're not trying to rip you off. You're not trying to rip me off, I don't think. Just honor the contract. You know. Now, once the contract is over, things got to change. No problem. You know, free to move on. But that hit me the wrong. Now, it wasn't. It was only 2 or 3 but the channels I watch.
Mhm.
Anyway,
The Food Network and the Travel Network.
it was Travel Channel HD because I you know I like to watch that occasionally, and there was I think 2 more channels. It was gone. I'm like, what the heck, man? You know.
Yeah, I love the History Channel with all the alien and UFO stuff.
Ancient Aliens is coming back, by the way, Derek.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think it's next month. Now, if it was like the gardening channel or the hot sauce channel, I wouldn't care. You know, I wouldn't care. But come on, Dish. Ugh. Anyway,
They do that in the fine print. I know. I think I
Yeah.
talked about this a while back. I had years ago when my son went to college. I bought him a laptop, and I bought the extended warranty for it. And he started having problems fairly soon with it, where it would look like the screen was getting shocked. It would go, zzz, you know, you get this kind of go to the side and look like it was getting this almost like electrical shocks. And so we brought it in, and it was a mail-in service. So
Okay.
you know, bought it at Best Buy.
Mhm.
Best Buy sent it out. Suppose the way the contract read 3 times, and then they can't fix it. They get you a new laptop.
okay.
Well, 3rd time came around, and they said, well, we need to send it in again. I said, no, I hit my 3 times. No, they want us to try sending it in one more time. I said, okay. I said, if it doesn't work this time, that's it. Well, comes back, said they couldn't find anything wrong with it. A week later, he has the same problem again. So I go into the store over here where we bought it, and I'm standing there, and they said, well, we need to send it in. And then I got mad, really mad. And I said, you know, unless you want a scene in the middle of the store here, I said, that's not what my contract read with the warranty. Well, I'm sorry, sir. I said, no. I said, get a manager here. So this woman comes over, and thank God the laptop acted up right in front of her. Because let me back up. The last time I sent in for the 4th time, we were able to snap a photo of it doing it.
Yeah.
But this time it happened right in front of her. And I told her, I said, you know, I said, the warranty that I signed said 3 times and we'll replace it. I said, I let it go in the 4th time. Now he wants to send it in the 5th time. That's not how this is working.
Yeah.
He said, we're going to replace it. So then what does the kid do? He said, well, you can pick out this laptop, whatever. You know, it's like, I paid $1,400 and something for it at the time.
Yeah.
And the warranty I bought said they'll replace it for the same value you spent.
Right.
Well, the newer computers, you got faster, you got more for it, whatever, but the price was still less, right? It was $800 something else. They said, well, that's all you could get. I said, why? Well, that's our warranties. That's what they read. I said, I don't care what they say now. I know what I paid, and I know what mine said. And I brought the warranty with me.
Yeah.
I not only got a new laptop, which my son had already replaced his, so I got a laptop for my daughter because she was starting college. And I've got that 25.5-inch rotating monitor back there with them too, $600.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the same point of what you made. You know, they change their warranties as they go along, unless there's something in the fine print that says we have reserved the right to change it at any time, and, you know, whatever.
Perhaps the open people aren't paying attention, aren't reading. I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly the point.
You know, nobody wants to raise a ruckus or raise a scene. That's not the point of a warranty service or whatever. Right. But there are times when, like even when Comcast, they were minor issues. But if you call screaming and not being nice to that human being, what do you think is going to happen?
Nothing. Well, when I meant raise a scene, I meant just speak loudly so people around me would know. I wouldn't get belligerent because that doesn't fix anything.
I know what you meant.
That's why I said, get a manager over here. I was visibly upset. But to scream at them and do, you know, that doesn't solve anything. But when I say raise a scene, I mean...
I know what you mean,
get your manager here, and people are going to know what's going on. That, you know, you know how it is. I've been in business for 30 years. And you get more, well, my father always used to say, too, you attract more flies with honey than vinegar. So, and it's the same thing. But so you don't, you want to handle things the right way or whatever. But bad news, somebody will tell 9 people, and they'll tell 9 people. But it's something that's good, they'll tell 3, they'll tell 3, they'll tell 3. It's the law of, it's kind of like, you know, in the news and the media, that bad news always sells stuff or whatever. So that's why you always see it dominating the news instead of the good stories, it seems like.
I probably shouldn't mention it, but I remember one time in Florida, I had a flip phone. This is before iPhone. I bought like a monthly warranty on it, right? And the phone went bad on vacation. And I called and says, well, our policies changed when you bought it, sir. We have to send it in. They said, but I'm on vacation now, blah blah blah. But I mean, I didn't argue. I didn't have the terms of service in front of me. I didn't argue. I said, okay. So I'm driving. This is in Florida. I went to see my friend Mitch. I'm thinking to myself, you know, I need to fix this. But I stayed calm. Of course, it's Florida, so I was calm. There's no potholes. So when there's no potholes, you are calm. So I'm thinking, I need to walk into it. And it was a Sprint store. I need to find that. Honest to God, this is my mentality thinking as an Italian from New York. I said, I need to find a nice Sprint store with a nice manager that's a female, preferably Italian. And sure enough, I found one. Walked in, I explained my situation. The guy says, well, let me get the manager because they did change the policy. The manager comes out. She's a female. You look into her eyes. Hi, lay the charm on. And she took care of it.
Yeah.
Not because my charm or she understood they just changed the policy. There were some problems, but she replaced it on the spot. So to that person years ago, if it was you, thank you. But again, the point was to be nice.
How many Sprint stores did you go to before you got the right profiling?
You know what? Maybe it was the second one. Maybe it was I don't remember. I remember patting myself on the back because it didn't take all day, Derek. So it wasn't. It may have been the first one. I can't remember. It's like 04, 05 maybe. It was before the iPhone, smartphones. But I remember it didn't take all day. It was pretty quick. But I was nice. She was a female. I'm a guy. You look into the eyes. You know the charm. Hi, nice to nice store you have. Blah blah blah. And it wasn't. It was a new store. I think. You know. Maybe I got lucky. I don't know. But I got a working phone, and I was good to go. The point is to be nice. And more often than not, you will get some kind of help. Usually. It's like on forums. If you reply nasty, you know, or if you ask nasty in, nasty out, Is that what they're saying? Garbage in, garbage out, or something like that? Yeah. I'm just reading some of the comments here. Radio Shack Warranty had a 3-strike rule. Yeah. That is true.
I have never paid more than about $300 for a laptop. I am impressed with Joe spending $1,400 on a laptop.
Wow.
What model was that?
You know what? It was an HP. I don't remember which one, but if you think that's a lot, the one I've got sitting in the cabinet here, I paid 18 something, but it's a $2,400 laptop, and it sits in there for the most part.
Okay.
But I bought that one because and I've talked about it before, but I bought that because when I was contracting, I had design software that I was designing plans, and I needed something to be able to be just as powerful to be able to bring up the plans while I was in my truck, because I used to have a mount and set up in my truck for my laptop. So, but yeah, and that's technically a gaming laptop. But his, I don't remember what specific model, but it was HP.
Well, that's what's taking up all the money there. It's got an external or dedicated graphics card, like an NVIDIA card or something in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got an NVIDIA card. It's got an SSD, and then it's got 16 gigs of RAM. It's the only thing is now I'm kind of kicking myself is I should have went to at least a 15-inch. It was a 14 because I didn't need a lot of space in there. Because technically, if I was looking at something on the plans, I was looking at something specific, not the whole set. You know, but it works fantastic. I've taken it to Florida a number of times with me. It's, believe it or not, for the size of it, it's still a pretty heavy laptop. But it's a Dell. It's a Dell Alienware.
Okay.
I think it was.
I've never had a laptop with a dedicated graphics card. Does it make a lot of noise when that fan is spinning?
It does. When the fan fires up, you notice it. Yeah. But it's, is it something that you'd want to be running, doing a video channel on with it? Probably not, because you'd probably hear the fan.
Yeah, it would pick up on the mic.
Yeah, because they do kick out a lot of air. They heat up pretty good.
Yeah. Kenneth has an interesting statement. One of you guys want to read it? I find it hard to believe, even for IBM. But he says, once had an IBM that got hit by lightning. It blew the plastic off the modem, removed the crispy fried modem, and the computer still worked. Oh, so it was a combination modem surge protector. Got it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That could happen. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. It still worked. Interesting. Well, it obviously didn't fry the power supply or the board.
I've lost a couple of modems over the years due to lightning.
Well, Florida's the lightning capital of the world in the summer. At least in Orlando it was. I lost a few things back then. Even with the surge, it would just go right through it, and fry it. But that's to be expected. But yeah, everything I have here, and that's another thing. I mentioned backups have surge protectors. We don't think about, probably consumers don't think about till stuff happens. And even though if you have house insurance, you may have a large deductible.
I don't know. The first time you lose a piece of equipment due to lightning, you'll use surge protectors at that point, because now, like my desktop here, my tower, I spent probably $1,200 on this thing. I'm not plugging this directly into the wall. It's going into a surge protector.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, and that's the downside with Linux, though, too, is, if you run, like I used to run a APC, UPS backup, and it's okay, but unfortunately, there's no software to run it to be able to have the automatic shutdown work and everything else. So that was almost, I don't want to say it was overkill. It's still probably not a bad idea to have one, but you don't need necessarily as high-end one. I did buy an APC large surge protection block that gives me like 25,000 or more or whatever it is coverage for equipment. But, some of these warranties are only as good as the paper they're written on, and so I don't know how something like that would work. You don't run something directly in the wall. It's just and I'm not, and I don't know if you guys are aware of any software that would work with something like that, or if there's a UPS backup that actually is compatible with Linux. I haven't checked lately, to be fair.
I've never looked either. I bet if we asked on like askubuntu.com, I bet there's some out there.
Probably someone would have an answer.
Because that is nice if you're not home and a storm hits, and it'll shut the system down for you safely, so you're not, going to hit a risk.
I've seen backup power supplies with built-in surge protectors starting at $50 and go to the hundreds, maybe thousands. I don't use that. I don't know if you guys, when you need to have the power continuous, I don't really need that.
Yeah, well, I've got my desktop when I built it was almost $2,000. So I was using a $200 UPS backup. Now this thing here is probably $30 or $40 or $50, whatever it was. I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never bothered with any kind of continuous power situation. Usually, like around here, if a storm's bad enough, I lose power. It may be days. So there's nothing that's gonna last that long.
Okay. So. Yeah, it's here in the summertime with the winds. Or in the wintertime, if it's windy, we might have a tree hit a power line and be down. It hasn't happened lately, but here in some states you have like a spider web of power lines. We're so backwards, and we're a superpower. Yeah, right. To go to Europe, you don't see this stuff. I mean, it's all like underground, But that can happen. But I suppose if I needed to have a computer running all day, I suppose I would have a UPC power supply backup if I needed it. But I really
And think
don't.
about it. In a serious situation, say you're going to be a few days without power. The last thing you're worried about is my computer running? I'm worried about
your fridge, your
exactly. Can you
furnace?
Can
you? Yeah. The heck with the computer, right? Yeah.
Well, our big thing here is we do get storms, we get some tornadoes, we get things like that. So we do get bad weather. But believe it or not, just as dangerous for us, and it seems like it happens a couple of times, if not 3 times in the summer, we get squirrels that go into the transformers, and you'll hear something like a bomb explodes. And either it's like my street's the dividing line, because it either goes from my street that way, or it's the houses behind me that way. So last few times it was them, but.
Yeah, I've been pretty lucky so far. I haven't lost. I mean, I've lost 2 monitors. Not really a storm. It's just one of those things. But in terms of a storm doing anything, I don't recall. I haven't lost anything. I mean, I have I have a Bose Wave radio upstairs in my bedroom. That's fairly expensive. Hooked up to a little surge, like a single surge. Plugs in a wall.
Right.
Everything else down here pretty much plugged into. I mean, my Comcast phone, if it goes bad, I'm renting it, so they'll replace it. But then I'd be out for a few days, But yeah, you really, if you don't, guys, girls, you should have everything plugged into a surge. You won't regret it. So, surge protector.
Yeah, I don't think you necessarily have to. Well, the other thing too is, speaking of that, your monitors, were they plugged into a surge protector as well?
Yeah, it was just one of those things. Well, one. I got to think now, Joe. One was my fault. I went to hit the power button on the side. It was wintertime, static glitches, and I literally saw a little bolt of lightning jump from my finger. It was like the X-Men, whatever you want. Zap, and it hurt I actually going, ow. And that it fried the board. It just, And then another, the last of them went bad. I went to turn it on. I'm like, I turned up the volume. There's no sound. I guess the soundboard got fried. I don't know how, but I got video, but no sound.
It could happen. I mean, there's especially now there's the caps on there or whatever. Yeah, I mean
it just one of those things. But that first one, I was like, and I think the first time, I think it was on Easter Sunday. Thanks, Lord. No, but. I'll never forget it, man. I literally saw the bolt jump. I'm like, ouch, you son of a... Anyway. Never again. I'd rather fry the remote than the TV, right? It was a TV / monitor, but yeah, so...
I've walked in and go to turn this on, and it's the case, thank God, but I've had that because I'm on carpet in here, which I really want to get off of, but...
Yeah.
Just, and I have done the not so good thing, and I've actually built and worked on computers with my feet on this carpet, but I also make sure I keep grounding myself constantly.
Yeah.
Still not a good practice, but it's
if you hit metal or something, then you are. But I mean that wasn't thinking. And it was fine. I mean, the remote was to the side. I don't know why I walked up to the TV. I guess to get my exercise. God, I'll never forget that, man. $600 out the window. Kenneth says he fixed the Bose Wave radio. Bose Wave radios are awesome. I have one. I recommend it. Check out the link below, the Amazon link. The Wave radios are. I got it at 05. It still works. They're not cheap, but they last, and the sound out of that little box is amazing. But Kenneth says he fixed one by using a cell phone charger. It lost the 5-volt regulator. It was easy just to stuff the phone charger into it and use it in place of the 5-volt regulator. 5-volt
you can see
regulator.
mine
Okay.
back
Yeah.
right there underneath. There's stuff piled on top of it, of course.
I see it's back there. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
They work. I mean, they're kind of pricey, but they even take trade-ins, Joe. Did you know that?
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine that. Try that with your Sony.
Yeah.
Spin lost a TV once to lightning strike. Okay. Mega, you got your Logitech webcam working on 18.0. You haven't had any issues with, well, I'll take that back. Usually I don't have any issues with Logitech webcams in Ubuntu. Sometimes with my other webcam, I have like this yellowish tint on the screen, like I got too much of a tan. But usually Logitech webcams work very well. Yes, Kenneth, ground straps, yes, they are worth it. If you happen to have one, happen to put it on.
Yeah, I've got one. It
Yeah.
stays right where it belongs in its case.
Yeah. I mean, it's so annoying. You got to pull it out, put it on. You know, I know.
It's just it's like wearing a safety harness on a roof. Some of the safety devices, much they'll save your life, they also can cause the accidents. You know, it's like they get in the way to get hooked up. Yeah,
Given a choice I think I'd rather have it on. Given a choice, yeah, right. Let's see. It is 11 after 10 o'clock, 10:11. So for those of you coming in late, this is officially my 2001 video upload in 8 years of the channel. So thank you for those of you who stuck by over the years. Someone had mentioned before in the comment I helped him get exposure to Linux. Thank you. That's why I'm still here. If you would like to support the channel, check out the links below in the show notes. We started off this channel, this show with something special. I got a cousin out of New York called Gabriella. She's an aspiring singer. I found the link, by the way, to her website. So there it is. It's GabriellaMusicNYC.com. Maybe I'll replay the video here shortly of her singing. If you guys want to see it, those of you who missed it, of her singing her rendition of I Will Always Love You. Beautiful voice, young lady. I met her for the first time. It's from Long Island, New York. I met her last night with her dad and her sister. So, hi gals and hi dad. So, yeah, this is all about, this channel obviously focuses on technology, sometimes food. But yet, I think you have to focus on the people first, because without people, then what do you have? Without the humanity in people, without what makes us human, without the human factor, who cares about the technology? But that's how I said. Joe, you probably have the same feeling, but so for this video special, I was thinking all week, what can I do that's different? Yeah, I could have booted into my new Ubuntu and do a review and this and that, but I wanted something different. And the family came along out of New York, and I posted the video of her singing. But I'll post it again in a few minutes, maybe, in case you guys missed it. But you can check out that link there if you want to hear more of Gabriella, the amazing natural voice talent from what I hear, what you hear, what my friend heard last night. Every once in a while, it's kind of it's kind of like if you watch the show like America's Got Talent or The Voice or whatever, and once in a while you catch and thinking he's got it or she's you just know, you just hear it, Let's see. Ken says years ago in the city I had a lightning strike, or how it traveled across the floor, up the wall, made the old rotary phone ring an eerie ring. A bluish white glow. Hey, that's something, a glowing home phone when it rings. Wouldn't that be something? Omega Beast 10 says, my last name is Italian. Beast is Italian? I'm just kidding. Told you. Kenneth says, told my mom I refused to answer that glowing phone. Okay. All right. probably isn't in a Steven Spielberg movie, right? I never had a glowing phone after a lightning strike. Come to think, I've never had anything glowing. Oh, Joe, that's his last name. Check it out. Omega Beast 10. That's his last name is Italian. Hey, Martinelli. Hey. Buonasera, buonasera. You know. Definitely Martinelli.
Well, most people whose last names end in a vowel majority are Italian anyway. Not all,
That's true.
most
That's true. It sounds like something you eat. Oh, that's mortadella. Never mind.
Hey, maybe that's why DistroTube ends in an E. He's an Italian wannabe, maybe? Just kidding, Derek.
It could be.
You know, you should do your next review. Hi, and welcome to a DistroTube. I'm doing this for a toss. He wanted me to do it in Italiano. So today we're going to take a look at mangiare. Mangiare, not mangiare. Mangiare means to eat, Derek. Yeah, mangiare. Not mangiaro.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh, man. Around here, they're all skis. Oh, like Polish? Okay.
You know Derek's never going to come out here again.
I like Italian food, but you know what I like better than Italian food? Irish whiskey.
Oh.
Okay, all right. That's fine, yeah. Sometimes in the wintertime, if I feel a cold coming on and a sore throat, a shot of whiskey. Not the bottle, a little shot of whiskey. Because I used to buy like NyQuil and that stuff and had alcohol. Well, I have that, you know.
Yeah.
But it helps. I mean, if you catch it, obviously if you have a stuffy nose, it ain't going to help. Well, maybe it might help, come to think of it, but no. Now, if you have a sore throat, if you catch it ahead of time, you take a few swigs, it might help kill the bugs or whatever is in there. But Mark says, I'm a little behind, but are the 1804 releases going well? So far for me, the Ubuntu is. I'm waiting for the official rollout for the in-place upgrade for Mate. It hasn't hit yet. I checked the software updater. Derek, what have you seen so far?
Well, I've looked at 5 or 6 of them in VMs in the past couple of days. All of them seem to be running fine. The only one that I had some issues with, Mate, there were a couple of programs that I could not get to actually launch in a VM, but they were Snap programs that were installed as snaps by default. So there's something buggy with some of the Snap packages in the Ubuntu Mate edition anyway. But other than that...
Okay. It could be something native to the VM, too.
Yeah. But mainline Ubuntu, even though I hate GNOME, I think it's a resource hog.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with that. Lubuntu, you guys know I ran the beta a couple of weeks ago on my main machine here. I really like Lubuntu. Budgie looks good. Checked it out, too.
Yeah.
But are you talking the LTS, Derek, that you had issues with?
Yeah.
I've had comments in the past saying, well, Tosh, you really can't get the full feel of something in the VM, and that's true. I'll buy that. You can get some feel. Sometimes it works perfectly. But the issues you have may be something native to the VM. I don't know. You won't know until you do a full install, obviously.
Yeah, it's strange because, like I said, mainline Ubuntu has some things that are installed as snaps by default, and they launch fine. I don't know why Mate was having those issues.
Maybe Martin WinPress fine-tuned it to work only best in a full install. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
But it is a bug. They know about it. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I have no problem. I mean, if that's the only bug, I have no problem doing the in-place upgrade for my 1710. I'll wait a few days to see if my notification pops up. I think I can force install it through the terminal, Derek, if I'm not mistaken,
you can.
right?
Yeah, you can do a dist upgrade, sudo app, dist-upgrade, and it'll...
Right, that's it.
That way you don't have to wait till the point release.
Yeah, right,
I just did that, and it's not showing up yet.
Not yet, really, either in the terminal? Okay.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't show up, like when they do the ISO releases, it's not in the terminal just yet. Sometimes you have to wait.
A few days. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, 1710 is fine, so, yeah.
The point releases usually come out pretty quick, too, don't they, I think?
No, it'll be a few weeks, yeah.
For that,
They're going to make sure it's ironed out before they have everybody go to the repos and upgrade. Because that's when the majority of the LTS guys are going to get upgraded. Yeah. Nobody, for the most part, and we know about it because we're nerds, we follow Linux, but a lot of people run Ubuntu LTS. They're not going to know about the upgrade until 1804.1, That's when they're going to get a pop-up.
1710 is good until July anyway, right? I think the one I have now. So yeah, if I have to wait, that's fine. I'll test something else. But I'll probably do my final thoughts on Ubuntu. I might do something Sunday. Maybe I can catch Alan Pope, to come on there from the UK, from the Ubuntu Kingdom, as I often joke, because that's where Ubuntu's from. So, But Alan, Ubuntu with GNOME, it's not my favorite, as you know, but it's stable. And I told him I will recommend. I mean, how can you not recommend the stable OS? It's not fair. At least to try, But as we discussed, it's not designed to revive older machines. It just wasn't made. That's why you have your Mates and Ubuntu's, Lubuntu, and other variations of it.
Well, there is a certain percentage of the population out there that are having problems with Windows. A lot of people, when they make that switch, it's because Windows is getting slow. It's not working right on their machines. And they may be disappointed if Ubuntu 18.04 is what they're going to, because it may not run that much better than what Windows 7 or whatever is still on their older machines. They may install that and get some sluggishness too.
Well, I think Ubuntu with them will get better, as we stated. That's what Alan was suggesting, and I would have to believe, because Unity was the same way. It's just not my desktop environment now. Derek, I know you don't really care for it, but for some people, it's fine.
Well, to be honest, I wouldn't run any of them because I don't run any desktop environment. So, I come at it from a different perspective, because I'm not going to run LXDE, XFCE. I'm not going to run KDE. I'm not going to run any of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, I mean, I review them on the channel. I mean, I enjoy taking a look at them, but
yeah. Right.
Once you get used to the minimal thing, it's hard to go back to.
Really? Okay.
It really is. Yeah.
I guess different people settle on different, technologies, but that's why I've settled with Mate, because it reminds me of the old GNOME 2 look in Ubuntu, and that's what I started with. I've come full circle, so to speak. But yeah, hats off to developers who make all of this work. When you think about it, it's amazing.
Yeah, and not just the developers, the people that do some of the artwork in these distros. I mean, the Ubuntu flavors had some beautiful artwork, beautiful themes, beautiful wallpapers. Even just some of the photographs. I mean, some of the people, I don't know where they get these photographs from. Just incredible.
It is an art form.
It really is. Yeah.
You gotta have the right camera, the right lens, the right shutter speed, the ISO. I mean, it's a whole science. I don't quite understand all of it.
Yeah, I wish I could get into it, but it would be a very expensive hobby.
A good camera with the start lens, probably $600, Derek. Maybe closer to 1,000.
And don't you need different lenses depending on?
Yeah, I think a camera with the starter lens, will say like a Canon Rebel, I think they're called, 600. Multiple lenses, 1,000, 2,000. I mean, it's something there. If I had the budget, I would try just to try it out. Again, I would hardware hop,
It also, I think, depends on what you're looking to do, because my son's into photography and videography. That's what he does for a primary living as well as a side business.
Okay.
He's got some lenses that cost $2,000.
Yes.
So
that is,
But it depends on, again, the level of what you're doing. Like, I have his old Canon T3, it's brand new. He had it a year, and then he decided to upgrade, and I bought it from him, and it's still been sitting in the shelf. I really want to use that. It's a 35 millimeter, phenomenal camera, and that was probably new $650, I think.
I mean, if I was going to do something for YouTube, I would get one of the Canons with the flip out screen. Like whatever lens. I think they're $600. I mean, that would be fine. I mean, if I was going to do it just for this, for live streaming or on-site videos, I think that would be fine.
I have one of those too in there. They're nice. You could turn it around. It's really great.
Yeah, one of my cousins has that.
You can snap photos with them if you want to take like a screenshot or a still out of what you're doing too.
Yeah, so like if you wanted to do, toss on location somewhere,
right? I mean,
you couldn't do that with a webcam. You'd need some kind of.
That's what I would use it if I was going to get it. I would go with that with whatever standard lens you want to call standard. Just one lens to keep it simple. Flip out screen. I wouldn't really need 4K. 4K would be nice, but I think 1080p with a good camera lens is probably going to be sufficient. Because if you have 4K, then you have to edit 4K.
That's true.
Now you need a beefier computer.
Yeah, I don't have a rig that's going to do that. So
and I would probably, if I was going to do that, I would probably make sure I had the right computer first, faster computer first before I get the camera, or the intention of buying a camera, don't edit. Just what you see is what you get. But
Yeah.
you know, when you go on location, you know, the camera slips or whatever, or someone bumps you, or the lighting's up, you're gonna do some kind of editing. So Max says, toss at the car wash. Yes, right. I actually done one of those inside my car with the camera hooked up to my suction cup inside the car. I was doing a vlog. I wonder why I did that. Come to think, why would I want to do? Oh, was it like, would you drive a self-driving car or something when I was at the car wash? Is that what it was, Matt? Gee, you remembered. Wow, thank you.
This is what I'm talking about. This is probably would work. This is what he used to use too.
Yeah.
Before he bought 35s. You know, and this actually, it takes SD cards.
Okay,
This would be fantastic for you. I mean, the lens is obviously built on it, but
that's
it
okay.
did some beautiful shots.
Yeah.
It's a Canon as well. I don't remember the exact model.
I mean, I could go to the Amazon and check out refurbished cameras like that between $200-300, and it probably would be fine. But if you want a higher quality, you want to go into the DSLR, I think they're called.
Yep.
If you want higher quality. But what you have is perfectly fine, Joe.
As long as you have. That's what this is. It's
oh, it is.
It's I don't.
No, a DSLR has the interchangeable lenses, I think. Yeah.
Right, I have the SLR up there. This was what he started out with as a video camera and for taking some stills. I know he has another one now that actually, believe it or not, similar to this, that does change lenses too.
Yeah.
But the SLR up there that I have is got the actual, you know, you could interchange the lenses and all that too.
Yeah.
And it comes, most of them, like that one came with a 50mm, which is would probably serve you fine unless you needed telephoto or something or zoom for some reason.
No, I don't think I would need that. The one thing I noticed about the cheaper cameras, they will work, but you make sure you have a good lighting. I have noticed that with the higher end cameras, you don't necessarily need good lighting. They're sensitive enough.
Right.
With the cheaper ones, it can work, but especially natural sunlight, you're going to be outside. Probably anything works, you know, natural, especially cell phone cameras, you know.
Yeah.
But indoor, you really should have a better camera if it's going to be lower lighting in general.
Right.
But if I was going to do on location, I would probably be outside anyway, you know, with natural sunlight. So.
Well, the other thing too is, and I know he raised this point, which if you're going to do audio, you might want to do something with a Bluetooth to pick up your audio close to you. So you know, and something, I don't know all the details on some of those things, but you can get some that will do noise cancellation and that kind of stuff too, to help block wind noise and things like that. So
right, I would have to agree. Yeah,
there's a lot of choice. You would probably have to do some kind of clip-on mic or something. Yeah,
right. I've seen a lot of YouTubers. You'll notice if you look, you can see that little black, you know, clip-on mic, whatever they're using there. But no, that would be nice. Yeah, you know. I just got this little inexpensive headset mic that seems to work fine. With what I did, I got a cheap mic, but then I bought a USB adapter. You know, plug it in there like that. Works fine. It worked. I think everything was $20. I wasn't expecting it to sound that good, but hey, if it works, use it. Obviously, if you want a professional mic, you're talking at least $100, if not more. I think, Joe, yours is $200 or something that you were using. The one that's wireless or something.
No, you talk about the Cowan that I bought. It was like $70.
Oh, okay.
But for whatever reason, I can't get it picks up the mic when I look in the Pulse Audio. I can see it actively doing something.
Yeah.
But yet, you guys, like when we're on build, they couldn't hear anything. So I don't know what the problem is, because there's no physical mic that comes out to speak of. It just looks like a set of headphones.
Okay.
And the noise cancellation works fantastic with the Bluetooth and everything, but I just can't get the mic recognized for some reason. And yet, I take that back. On my laptop, I did. So I don't know if it's something with maybe my hardware or. But I also, the one, it was MX that was on there. It wasn't, that I recognized it wasn't on Mate. So I don't know if it's a Mate thing. I don't know what's going on with it.
It could be. Yeah,
no,
I think.
The UPS was 200.
I think switch to Linux. Tom says he wanted to use Mate, but he couldn't get something working, something specific working. So he went back to Linux Mint Cinnamon, and what he needed to work specifically worked. Forget what it was. Dual monitors or
It could be.
I can't remember. But that
No,
can
my-
happen like with any distro.
Oh, it just happened to me. I spent 2 weeks in Arch, and I could get everything to work exactly the way I wanted to in Arch, but I could not stream live in OBS for some reason, no matter what settings I set it to. And I've never had that problem on any other distro I've ever installed, even Arch-based distros. So that one problem basically forced me to wipe Arch off this machine. So
Yeah, he had a software issue, I think, related to his streaming as well. I don't think it was a dual monitor issue because I'm running multiple monitors on here and it's been fine.
And to be honest, if I had a minor issue on something, I'd probably still be on Arch, but because it affected this channel that I do, I couldn't actually record a video, so I can't stay on Arch. So,
Well, it's for power users.
yeah.
Last year before, there was a poll up on the channel and people voted Arch #1 Linux distro, and I completely understand. Not for beginners, but it was like a general poll. I would buy that.
No, I enjoy Arch. The thing that really makes Arch really neat is just the repos. The repos are huge. It's kind of like the Debian repos, the Ubuntu repos. Arch has great repository, and with the AUR, it's kind of like PPAs in Ubuntu. You can find virtually anything you need, where on some distros, a lot of the boutique, garage distros,
Yes.
you won't find everything. Like Solus, I've got running on my laptop. Solus is really nice, but there's a lot of things that I would love to install on there that's not going to be in the repos. I'm going to have to compile. I'm going to have to build from source.
That takes time.
I don't like that,
Yeah.
So
No,
I'm lazy. I want it to be in the repos.
No, your time it's important. It's valuable. I like click and go. That's being smart.
Right.
It's it's kind of like
different.
So no, I prefer now in the beginning, Derek, I kind of experimented like you were learning this and that, but after a few years I'm like, what am I doing? I don't have to do that anymore, man.
I think I've told you guys this before. I'm really not a distro hopper. Before I started doing this YouTube channel, I didn't hop at all. Whatever I put on a machine stayed there until end of life or until I got rid of that machine. That's because when I first started using Linux, I was switching all the time. I went through the distro hopping phase. Now the only reason I do it is mainly just doing stuff on this channel.
Well, I mean, the reason why I distro hop because I wanted to learn more and then post my results like you do on the channel. I wanted to not avoid the forums, but try to learn them and not be lazy. Now, sometimes I had to ask, but I wanted to show that even as a Windows user, if you have patience, you can learn. Now, that does not mean that if you have patience, go straight to Arch as a beginner. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I did what you did, hopped, and then I settled in finally on Ubuntu Mint and now Ubuntu Mate because the specific apps I need worked, and that's all I needed.
And for the most part, I don't care what distros on a machine. Like now, I typically buy machines that already have Linux on them. I'll buy custom built machines and have somebody put, the Ubuntu LTS is what they usually put on it. And as long as I get it and it's working, that's what I'm going to stick with. But if it had Fedora on it or whatever, as long as it's working, I'm not touching it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the live stream. We have a fellow New Yorker from Ghoul Tech. He's from New York. I have to ask Ghoul, which part, if you don't mind me asking. Welcome to the live stream, New York. I'm gonna share a video with you, Ghoul, and the rest who came in. I'm gonna share it again. I have a cousin living in Hempstead in Long Island. Ghoul, you probably know where that's at. She's an aspiring singer, young lady, one of my cousins, and maybe Ghoul lives in Long Island. Maybe you know her. I don't know. We'll see if he can post a response. If you don't mind, if you don't want to answer the question, that's fine, Ghoul. But you said you're live streaming from New York City. You hooking on to the live stream from New York? Well, why not? Hey, hi there, fella. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? If you guys haven't seen the movie, check out Analyze This. Robert De Niro.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Oh my God, I've seen it multiple times. It's hilarious.
Anything with Robert De Niro is great.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, yesterday I was watching Netflix. I rarely watch TV. I'll rewatch Heat again. I love that movie with Pacino and De Niro.
Yeah, it's my favorite. And I was watching Goodfellas last night too again.
Oh yeah, it seems like that's on all the time.
Yeah, that and Casino, I think, is another classic.
Yeah, Casino's great. Yeah,
yeah.
That's with Joe Pesci's in that too, isn't he?
Yeah. Classic stuff. I remember a movie too with Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. I think it was called Heat.
Yeah, that's what
different type of role for the one that played the cop, one played the crook, or something like that. It's been a while, but yeah.
You should actually
Um,
see, if you have a chance, look up the behind the scenes stuff when they talk about that, how it was made. It's very, very interesting. They said the
okay.
noise downtown when they filmed that was
Mhm.
deafening.
Oh,
It was just deafening. They said the amount of
okay.
noise from all that gunfire and stuff down there.
Okay.
So,
I was thinking about that rewatching that scene actually is how did they pull this off in the middle of a city?
well, they usually shut it down because see, born and raised in Chicago,
Mhm.
and they call that the second Hollywood.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Dennis Farina, who's cousin to a kid I went to school with, he was a Chicago cop back then, and even my dad worked details. With some of the movie scenes, they'd shut down areas that they would do that with. For a period of time, they get the permission from the city and whatever permits they had to pull and things like that. Same
Okay.
thing with like Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
They filmed part of it in Chicago, and then there was the part when they drive off the unfinished highway. That was, believe it or not, and of course they exaggerated it to
Yeah.
drop so far. That was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay.
But the way it's filmed is very fascinating. And matter of fact, Dennis Farina wound up being an extra in there, and the next thing you know, he became an actor. I mean, I used to work for the city services department, a bunch of different departments, but I was on a curb and gutter crew one morning, and I got to the job down by Lakeshore Drive, and the movie. Now it's not The Bodyguard that we're talking about. That Toss referenced with his niece singing the song from Whitney. It's My Bodyguard, which is a different movie. Was
Mm.
filmed on there, and as they're panning, they caught us all parked with our trucks with the crews and whatever sitting
Yeah.
there. So, I mean, obviously you can't shut the entire city down.
Yeah.
But like when they were filming Batman,
Yeah.
which one with what's his name that passed away?
Yeah. Heath Ledger.
last
That's
one.
the Dark Knight.
Dark Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was all done on Lakeshore Drive, and they did it in like the wee hours of the morning and stuff
Yeah.
too. So,
Okay.
okay, he's running.
Ghoul Tech is from the Bronx. Okay.
Go
All
ahead.
right. Cool, Ghoul. Fat Ellis says, forget about it. Well, we're not going to forget about this. So, for those of you who missed it, I did want to do something special for 2001 videos on the channel. I want to do something. I wanted more human than technology. You guys know what I mean. So, I want to share with you this video of Gabriella, my cousin, lives in Long Island. And she does a rendition of a favorite song, karaoke style, and I hope that you like it. So, here we go. Give me a second here.
If I should happiness. But above all this, I wish you love. And I will always love you. Will always love you. I will always love you. I'll always love you.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. That was Gabriella. Run with the Dolphin. Hi. Yeah, what can I say? Those of you who came in late, there was a funeral here, family member of the family, of her family, and I met her for the first time. I mean, I knew the family out of New York, out of Long Island, and she was here with the sister, Christina. Hi again, Christina, and with their dad. And I met them. Didn't know she was a singer. Her dad says, "Oh, she sings." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, I have a YouTube channel. Maybe I can do it." She says, "Okay." What can I say? Wow, my friend who lives not too far from here sent me a message. I showed him the video, and he messaged me back, and he says, "Carm, holy shit, she's got a voice." I said, yes, she does. So, Gabriella, that's for you. Please check her out on YouTube, Facebook. Send her a like, hello. Tell her I sent you. Fantastic family, young lady. The mom is going through some health issues. I won't get too personal here on this stream, but yeah, she'll appreciate any support. Say hello. I think she's got a single out. I need to research some more, but I posted her link, her website. I think she's got a single, I believe it's called Temptation, like a pop dance song. But check her out, YouTube, Facebook, and just say hello. I'm sure she will appreciate it, and hopefully we can do a live stream with her, maybe have her sing a song or two. But super talented voice, as you saw. And I wanted to do something different, special for this 2001 video, special for this channel. Yes, it is a technology channel and sometimes food, but the best technology is us, the human being. So it was perfect timing to meet her and to see her dad again after so many years and meet her sister Christina. But Gabriella, I wish you the best, so let's do a live stream soon. So it's appropriate. The best technology is you. So there you go. Anyway, that was her singing "I Will Always Have You," a cover song made famous somewhat by Whitney Houston. I think it was written by Dolly Parton, as Derek says. So welcome, all. Check her out, Gabriella. If there are any...
It was a huge country hit for Dolly Parton, like in the late 70s. Oh, yeah, it was a big #1 hit for her. And then 15, 20 years before Whitney got it, yeah.
Okay. Food is the best technology. Yes, especially when you're hungry, Kenneth. I mean, I may have to break and get something. You guys got to stop, but I think I'm okay for now.
That's all we talk about on this channel, huh? Mate and meatballs.
Mate and meatballs. Oh, man. Mate and meatballs. There we go. Ben, hang on. I know you want to join. Sorry, I wanted to show the video first. Give me a second. Mate and meatballs. Maybe when I do a review on Ubuntu Mate, I'm going to call them mate and meatballs. And people are going to say, Toss, why are you calling that? Hey, just talk to Derek. He told me, okay?
I'm sure you got a good recipe for meatballs.
Yeah, just sprinkle some mate.
Mate
right.
by a bunch of meatballs. There you go.
Yeah. Mate. I kind of love mate and meatballs. Why are you calling it
that's
meatballs? I don't know.
That's a good one.
There's a new app. There's a meatball app. No. Ramadolph, you need to go. Okay, peace, my friend. Switch, you want to join? Absolutely, my friend Tom from Switch to Linux. Give me a second, Tom. I'll send you a link for Hangouts. If you haven't already, check out Derek's DistroTube. Support Derek on Patreon, and Switch to Linux also has Patreon, and you can check out his channel on YouTube. All right, give me a second here. Send the link to Switch to Linux. If there are any new users out there, don't be shy. This channel was started primarily for you because I was a newbie. All of us were at one time. So if you wanted to stop by and say hello and ask a question, technical question, we'll try to answer it as best we can. But please don't be shy and stop by. Everyone is welcome here. Everyone is friendly. I make sure that if you see what I'm saying. I don't usually have to call Sicily, okay? No, just kidding. But all right, let's see. Let me get Tom's web address here. Give me a moment. Tom, are you still running Linux Mint? I think you're running Linux Mint as your main one, right? I think.
You know, that's actually one distro I have never run on physical hardware.
Really?
I have never tried Linux Mint. No, sure.
Why not?
It's never interested me, to be honest. Like, I don't even think about it. It's weird because I guess because Linux Mint is so tied to, I guess, Cinnamon. I'm not a big fan of the Cinnamon desktop environment.
Okay.
They've
Fair
got
enough.
a good Mate desktop.
Okay.
Yeah. But is it better than Ubuntu Mate if I wanted to try Mate?
It's very, very close.
Yeah.
There are actually some things that seem like you could do more on Mint, believe it or not, than even Mate, but initially. But now I think it's just very close. I think it'd be worth a look at least if to solve your curiosity about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I've never run it.
Yeah.
So that's,
Yeah, no, I have Linux Mint Cinnamon on my other ThinkPad. I've noticed Cinnamon is also a little bit more a resource hog, more than Mate, not as much as GNOME. And oddly enough, I had trouble burning a CD in Linux Mint Cinnamon. I don't know what it is with me and burning CDs, but I downloaded the standard Brasero. It didn't work. I even tried K3B, and it asked, "Well, I have to convert the files." I'm not converting nothing. I just did an Ubuntu Mate, and it worked. Ben, welcome. Tom, you should have gotten the link to join.
you probably needed some of those proprietary libraries that you didn't install, like the libdvd library or whatever.
libdvd CSS there.
Yeah.
There. That's what
Right. Yeah.
To burn a music CD.
Yeah, because by default, if it's shipping free software,
yeah,
you're not going to be able to.
Because
But-
when you don't select those proprietary codecs, you're not going to be writing CDs worth of
But I
dollars.
had the restricted extras installed in the add-ons were already installed. Doesn't that have
well,
everything?
Yeah, if you take that on, it should. Yeah.
Yeah, it still didn't work.
Should still do it.
Yeah. I mean, with Ubuntu, it froze. Brasero
Well,
just froze. In Linux Mint, it would just eject the CD like there's been an error. So I said, to heck with it.
You sure the CD was blank?
Yeah, positive.
Okay.
Well,
A blank CD, yeah. I mean, it's not like I burned CDs 24-hour
Oh,
shift. It wasn't a deal breaker, but it was kind of annoying. But
what program were you trying to use out of pure curiosity?
it was Brasero.
Oh, well, no wonder, dude. Come on.
But it works perfectly in Ubuntu Mate. Perfectly.
No matter what desktop environment you're running, you really should install K3B.
I tried that, and it came up. I had to convert the files. I'm like, no, I don't have to convert anything. You
Okay.
just drag and drop the
Wait.
files.
Have you tried something like XF burn maybe?
I did do that. It worked, but it wouldn't write the CD text, the titles of the tracks.
Yeah, okay.
But it worked.
And what
Yeah.
I understand we're using Zero then.
Hi, Tom.
Some versions of Presario actually aren't working quite right these days. I actually had a problem. I wanted to burn something on one distro, then I couldn't get to work. I jumped over to Linux Mint, still wouldn't work with Presario, so I ended up downloading DVD. Using
Okay.
DVD
Yeah,
to
the
do it.
DEVE program. Yeah, I used to use that a long time ago myself, Tom.
Yeah, I don't like it as much, but for whatever reason, Presario doesn't seem to work with some instances. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's odd. Like I said, in Mate, it's perfect. In Ubuntu Mate, it's perfect.
I'll have to try over there.
I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
you know, Tom, I gotta tell you, I am so glad my new Dell laptop did not come with a freaking optical drive.
What's that?
That way I don't have to worry about burning CDs ever again.
I am
Yeah.
surprised so many distros still ship a disk burning utility on the ISO.
Yeah, well,
I know Mint dropped theirs at I think 1.1 or 18.1 or 18.2. I know it's not on here, but
Yeah, I don't know if there actually is a standard CD burn, if you want to call it. I mean, Brazero's been around for years.
Presario is always the one I've generally
Okay.
seen. In fact, I haven't heard of the other ones until I couldn't get to work today.
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
my god. Well,
KDB is nice. But I couldn't get that to work. I had to convert the file. I think I said I had to convert it to a WAV file first. I'm like, no, I don't.
Oh,
Or something
there's
like that.
There's something very wrong with your install then, I think.
yeah, I would say
Yeah.
so.
That was in Cinnamon, so I don't know.
Let me see if I have Presario over here.
Toss's, I agree with you there, Derek. I think Toss's install must have gone munged up.
Yeah.
It's one of my test machines, Linux Mint Cinnamon on my ThinkPad, so I mean I can delete it anytime. It was annoying, but I went back to my trustworthy Ubuntu Mate, and
Yeah, there you go.
you know,
Yeah,
and it
that's
worked. It worked. So you know, I want
Yeah.
to, you know.
Well, I guess I'm the oddball here on Gen 2.
Oh, jeez. Call Dr. Vinny Boombots. Here we go, Joe.
Somebody, DistroTube, somebody said you and I should do one stable versus unstable.
me and Spatry used to do something called stable and horse stable.
Yeah.
Stable means everything. Horse stable means horse doo-doo stable, you know. So
Horse crap stable, yeah.
You know,
horse
when,
stable.
when
yeah.
Toss mentioned he was going to do the stream, he told me like Monday he was going to do a stream Friday, and I asked him what distro should I be running when I show up because I'm always running something different.
Right. Oh, you wanted me to install Dead Beef, didn't
Yeah,
you?
yeah. I
forgot
told
all,
him pick any distro, I'll show up running it.
I forgot all about it. But
Hannah
yeah, I
Montana.
don't have Dead Beef. I was
No,
trying
not
to.
Hannah Montana. I'm gonna.
Justin Bieber Linux.
I like. Let's go with Hannah Tony Montana, man. Tony Montana was.
There's one distro I've always wanted to see, Aerosmith Linux. That would make my
Wow.
Huh. I'm gonna work on it.
Aerosmith Linux, huh? Okay.
Yeah, they're my favorite band since I was
No, it's AC/DC, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, that's not it. That's not Aerosmith.
That's it.
Queen
Okay.
of Motion would be Aerosmith.
I like You Shook Me All Night. You shook me all night. Oh.
Long.
You know, speaking of that song, I was listening to NPR one morning,
Yeah.
and they had Patrick Stewart, Captain Picard, Star Trek, right?
Oh, we're back on Star Trek.
Yeah. Well, because I mentioned that song, but they asked Patrick. It was a game they were playing with the audience. Patrick's gonna say the lyrics to a song, and the audience has to guess it. So you know, Patrick, very proper English from England, very how he speaks. So he started doing the lyrics. You know, you should be all. You know, she was a fast machine. He just spread off. It was hilarious. She was the best dumb woman I'd ever seen. Knocking me out with those American thighs. You know, the way he said it.
He was doing it the wrong way, yeah.
Well, he was proper English, so the host says, Patrick, what's the difference between American and British thighs? Oh, the difference is huge. Okay. Classic stuff.
He was doing it in proper English.
And you're right, and I mean it was all in good fun.
It was funny, yeah.
Yeah, he did something. He did another actor I can't forget that was pretty funny. But anyway, Patrick Stewart, you're the man. So
yeah. Well, I do actually, in my Manjaro that I made, ship a ACTC wallpaper inside of it, I think. It's actually in my Google Drive. It's actually a pretty neat wallpaper, actually. So, yeah, I ship it in every respin that I seem to make.
Okay.
And you're doing this on Manjaro?
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, DT. I think I don't know exactly, but I think you might have sent me a message asking to look at it, but I don't exactly remember if you told me that or not.
Well, I was running Manjaro for a couple of months a while back, and I actually just hopped back to it this past week, like 3 days ago.
Well, if you want to have a peek at mine, it's under some revisions right now that my friend Seeker suggested to me. But once those are implemented, I plan to upload the new copy. And he said he prefers more flat icons on the desktop and that. But I can give you the link to my old one, which has the snow saber icons, and Matthew Moore helped me make a purple and black theme for it, which apparently goes nice with the snow saber icons I found on DeviantArt that are included. But and it's got this default really nice jellyfish wallpaper. Now I'm going to tell you guys in the chat, and you guys here on the call as well, that there's one small block that I have that's with Compiz. Unless you click the fusion icon that is shipped by default and change the window managers from Compiz to XFWM4, you will not be able to move the windows. I don't know why. That is a bug in Compiz that I found. I
don't mess with Compiz for fear of breaking something. You know,
I hear you.
It's cool. It's cool to mess with, like the cubes and the fire mouse thingy. But I don't mess with it.
I had all that set up on my distro, but unfortunately, it broke the window borders. So unfortunately, until I update my ISO and put it back out there without Compiz and all the changes he suggested to me in my email, until then, the distro is the way it is with Compiz, and you have to just select XWM4 as your window manager. So.
Yeah, I would imagine with Ubuntu dropping Unity, Compiz is pretty much not under development anymore. I doubt anybody
project. That's why in my 17.18 release I'm going to not have it shipped. So because I know that they're working on Manjaro 18 right now, but I'm still on 17 because it's the stable release, and I just don't want to, screw with a beta software. Right?
Nah, go ahead. It'll be fine.
Speaking from the master.
Well, I don't know if it's ready for prime time for respin or release like that.
The only time that I've ever had Compiz work really well out of the box for me was on Ubuntu.
Okay.
Well, that's because they're running KWin and not Compiz. Right.
I wanted to ask Tom real quick. Tom, did you get that message from Google? Says, "Dear partner, something about the General Data Protection Regulation."
Yeah, I on all of my different Google accounts. Oh yeah.
So what does that mean exactly?
I have not read through all of them yet.
Okay,
it has to do with the new privacy policies, the new system coming down through the European law. So any business that does things over there, it basically means that data, if I'm remembering correctly, it should be like data should be opt-in instead of opt-out in European countries. We could only dream of having that here. And how the data, like after a certain period of time, data drops off. So it mostly affects if you're using analytics data and things like that. I've not read through all the policies yet because there's just too many of them. But yeah.
I also got I think you mentioned it in the thing once in a live stream, but I got a message from Yahoo. What's up with Yahoo and their Oath? Is that what it is, Oath?
Well, Oath is the combined company. When Verizon bought AOL and Yahoo, it combined those two companies under Oath as one joint company. And They just released a new privacy policy that you have to agree to keep using the services. Part of the newest part of that is that, well, the most concerning thing from last week was by continuing to use it, you're giving them permission to look at everything you're doing, read your messages, including reading the content of your attachments for the purposes of selling that data for advertisers.
They can read all of it.
Every bit. They specifically including your attachments in that policy. The thing that just came out this week was that you have to agree, particularly for the Yahoo portion, you have to agree to a binding arbitration. There is no opt-out of the binding arbitration. This is presumably because of how much they're about to get sued from leaking 3 billion account data.
Yeah, really.
So they're forcing binding arbitration.
Wow.
Yeah. We were talking about the arbitration clause in Microsoft EULA earlier. Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. They trying to prevent somebody from suing them ahead of time. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's making us feel more comfortable. Thanks, Yahoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've always had concerns about Yahoo. I mean, I remember this one time, and this still happens, is the fact that I get loads of spam mail from them in my main inbox, and it's all the emails that I ever get from them are like ads and.
I usually get those emails where, "Dear sir, I'm the ambassador. I need to transfer $60 gazillion, but I need your help." And yeah, okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you,
never had. I think I've had a Yahoo Instant Messenger account once, but I've never had a regular Yahoo account. And the one thing though that I get a lot is every business client I've ever had that uses Yahoo, I will very frequently get spam from them. Being that either somebody has compromised their account or somebody computer and sent spam to everybody else. I'll get a lot of those.
Right. Derek, there's a question. Is 17.1.8 Manjaro stable? Derek, are you using Manjaro now, you were saying?
Yeah. I'm not even sure. I'm on the stable, yeah. Is it 17.1.8? Yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I don't do unstable, yeah.
I really enjoyed Manjaro last time I used it. That's the only distro I regret not making a backup.
Oh, God.
And I actually figured out that if you specify the wrong version of the VirtualBox editions and all the things that you have to install, Manjaro tools will fail to build you an ISO. That's just
that's all distros. You have to match.
Yeah,
you have to match that in VirtualBox
package. Yeah, like you said, Tom, one wrong package, you're screwed.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's right though. It's every distro that if you get the wrong modules, wrong headers, and all that.
I think I have a script that I run every time I update the kernel to run the script, and it'll fix everything on my VirtualBox.
Yeah,
nice.
I got sick of doing it.
Nice.
I got in touch with Phil Mueller, the maintainer of Manjaro, actually, and he told me that exact same thing. Actually, he said, because he's their main developer, and he said he's the head of Manjaro altogether. And I said, "Hey, man, this isn't working." And he said, "Dude, that's why, because your kernel's wrong." And I said, "Okay." So
you had to go in the terminal, install, type in something essentials. What's the
build essentials in a?
That's it.
Build essentials. Yeah, that's the GNU C compiler.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, you have to have GCC, you have to have Make, and you have to have Perl, I believe.
Yeah, you got to have all that stuff.
Yeah.
Else.
And Build Essentials does that? That one command? Is that it?
Yeah,
that one takes care of
it all. For
you.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't had to do that in a while, but yeah. Most Ubuntu base usually have.
They should, but I can tell you because I just reviewed 1804's Ubuntu. It did not have GCC or Make installed by default. Neither did Ubuntu Mate. Actually, didn't have it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, really, if you just want to test, just use a USB bootable stick and don't install it. Just run it off the stick. If you just want to look at it, but that's how I do it now. I just make it easier. I mean, sticks are cheap nowadays, and it's not that hard to run Etcher or UNetBootin or whatever's out there to make a stick. Bootable stick.
Linux Mint has the tool right there on it. USB writer. Love it.
Yeah. Mint stick, they call it, or something. I don't know.
No,
It's mint stick. Yeah, that's the
Oh,
name of the
specific name of it.
package.
It sounds like a chewing gum.
Yeah.
Midstick.
We'll call it Rigby Rider.
Rigby Rider,
Wrigley's
yeah,
Rider.
really.
There you go.
You're right, Wrigley's Rider. Hey, there we go, Wrigley's Rider. Yeah.
Wrigley's Rider. Yeah, that sounds appropriate. You're right.
Yeah, see, in the menu it shows up as USB image writer is how it shows
Yeah,
up in the menu.
that's just the program name for it.
Yeah.
It's called Mint.
Yeah.
I've had good luck with UNet boot in both in Linux. I know it's been around a while, but I've had good luck in both Linux and Windows. So that's all I use.
I've had good luck with it on Linux, but never on Windows.
Really? Okay.
No. Yeah, I don't know why, but
I don't
for
know.
some stupid reason I could never get that thing to work.
And UNet booting is only good for certain Linux distros.
Okay.
I guess it's good for Ubuntu and Mint, but
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, can't
yeah,
disks
to,
write one as well? Can't you write an ISO with disks program also?
yeah, the GNOME disk.
Yeah, I think so. Can't you? Yeah.
I think you could, yes, but it's not very practical from what
But Ben can probably verify this. I don't think UNet booting works making a live USB stick of Manjaro. I don't think you can.
No, it doesn't. I hate to tell you, it does
Okay.
not work. I've tried it.
Oh, geez.
I've tried it too. That's why I know it. Yeah,
You cannot make.
it will not happen.
Tried it, and Matthew Moore himself has tried to make a USB stick of. He's tried every dang tool in the book, and he can't get the dang thing to boot. But the one I have most luck with, guys, is Etcher. That's the one that I have the most luck with.
That's what I used here lately is Etcher. It just works for every distro.
Yeah, it works for almost everything. The only thing it doesn't work with is Windows ISOs. I use Rufus for that, but every Linux distro that I throw at Etcher seems to work fine. So
Can you do persistence with Etcher?
I don't think so.
Okay.
no, you can't. No.
Okay. Just curious. Not that I really would need to.
Yeah, Tuss, that don't work.
just a
no.
test. Yeah.
No, it's an interesting question though. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can Linux Live USB lower, but with the Lily tool for Windows, you can do that.
It makes me wonder now in 2018 what will be the flavor of the year for Linux. I'm curious. I usually do a poll once a year. Vote for your Linux distro of the year.
Well,
Last year was Solus. Year before was Arch, I think.
Yeah, Arch was where the cool kids were at about 5 to 10 years ago. Now it's
Yeah.
Solus. You know what? Watch out for Void Linux. That's going to be the new hot
Void?
distro. Yeah, Void.
That's the one
Boy.
distro I've been reluctant to try.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's just me, but if you're trying to promote something new, operating system, I probably would not call it Void. As in void it out, you know?
It's like, what are we in the Twilight Zone here, people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Etcher works so well, but it's a very light
Yeah.
type system. If they had a Rufus type version for Linux, it'd be perfect because that's one of the things that I don't like is that it's so limiting.
Mhm.
You know, it does a great job burning, but it doesn't. You can't do it persistent.
Yeah, it's good, but and I always turn off the verification stuff 'cause it already takes so long just to write the image. It's really, guys. But that's the one little complaint that I have is that the writing process just takes so daggone long through Etcher. That's the only complaint that I have. That's why I prefer Minstick over Etcher. But it's not a real big deal. I mean, I get by.
Yeah.
I don't recall that long a process in UNet booting.
Yeah,
But
Unit
then-
is faster, but unfortunately it does not work very well.
Yeah, it works for all the Ubuntu's, Debian and that kind of thing, but UNet boot is not going to work for
Like Manjaro,
large
still
distros.
close.
Yeah.
There is an option in UNet boot, and I believe there's an option on the top. If you don't have it downloaded already, you can choose which ISO to download, I believe. I think there's a drop-down menu.
Last time I looked at it, they were a little out of date. Are they still out of date or not?
Yeah,
Are they? Okay.
yeah. All those
It's limited.
I haven't looked at it though in like 2 years, maybe.
Yeah.
'Cause why bother? I run Mint.
Yeah.
And it's
I think
just-
there's Pendrive Linux, I think is another one. I
Yeah,
think it's
Pendrive Linux is another good website to get tools like that through. Yeah, and then you can run the Universal 123 loader, the what else there? The whatchamacallit, there's so many tools nowadays to make these flash drives. It's hard to keep up with them all.
Yeah.
Then there's Ubuntu, which makes a multi-boot thumb drive. Oh my God, there's so many.
What
Well, I'm
program
gonna-
does Mint use though as an underlining for their writer?
I think they still use the Minstick tools, I believe. Yeah, they use the Minstick program as well.
That's only available to Mint though, right?
No, it's on certain variants of Ubuntu. I don't know exactly what ones, but I do know that
Peppermint has one too. Peppermint has a formatter and
there's
a
a fork of that program. Yes.
Well, I guess you could always use DD in the command line to write to a USB stick.
Although most newbie users are not going to want.
Yeah, and I would never recommend a new
Yeah,
user
yeah.
to use DD because if you type one letter wrong, you could reformat the wrong
Could
drive.
screw up your whole
Right.
hard drive.
Right, right.
I'm looking at my ticker feed. It says Ubuntu 18.04 running on the Nintendo Switch. Interesting.
Well, somebody's got a jailbreak going on there.
Yeah, I saw that post on OMG Ubuntu today.
Oh, yeah?
Somebody got it to work on the Switch. I'm not sure why you would want to do that though, because not
Right.
everything is going to function correctly. Like,
Right. Mhm.
that's not really what that was built for.
Yes.
I mean, that's
right,
cool
right.
that you can get it installed. But
Yeah, if you want to tinker with it, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, but jailbreaking anything, whether it's a phone, a
hmm
game console, anything, that's asking for trouble, in my opinion.
Let's take a quick poll. We got 23 viewers plus.
Yeah.
What's your favorite distro, guys? Anybody? I mean, I know what but I'm just curious.
Okay.
Because the LTSs are out this week, so
this week,
My God, man.
just to see.
Well,
Or do you really care?
my all-time favorite distro is Debian Stable. So,
That's a good one.
yeah.
if I had to run one thing
if I had to
forever,
pick something that wasn't Gentoo, because Gentoo is my number one, but if I had to say something new friendly for you, Toss, maybe either Ubuntu or Ubuntu Mate, one of those maybe.
All right, it's Ubuntu for speed, also for Ubuntu
Yeah,
Mate
and
for
also
speed.
Mate, and I'll say Mate for stability.
Mm,
Yeah, because I know that Mate is slightly heavier, by not by much, but
yeah.
I do like the Mate/GNOME interface from way back in the day.
Max Hughes likes Deepin. Really?
yeah,
Isn't that spyware?
not
Officially?
really. No,
No? Yes,
that's a
no?
little overblown.
I mean, I don't know.
I think that was just a bunch of hogwash.
It was, and the people took that way too far.
Yeah, they took that way too dang serious.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't use it because it never worked for me
Yeah.
right in the first place.
All it is their software center. It's basically a website,
Hmm.
and on a website, sometimes
Yeah, people took that way too dang far.
Yeah, it's the Chinese version of Google Analytics is in there, which
Oh.
I think is far less intrusive than the data collection Ubuntu is doing in the latest release.
Hmm.
Still
Yeah.
don't like it. I don't like either
I
one.
can-
but-
I can kind of understand if they want to collect, stuff to make the distro better, but
Yeah.
if they want to call it, but again, on the deep end thing, I think the users took that over the top.
Mhm. We have a Manjaro fan. Mark, you can talk to Derek. Steve Winkler likes Peppermint 8. Okay.
Yeah.
Mint, Mate, Ubuntu Mate, Omega Beast, Gentoo LXQT, Fat Elvis. Ooh,
I do.
okay.
I run an Ubuntu, or I run a Peppermint 7 right now on my writing computer, and I do have a Mint Mate on my backup computer, and my production computers are Mint Cinnamon.
Backup. And you just left Sim. Okay.
Well, like my backup computer, it basically is a computer repository for all my personal files. So it's an offline
okay.
computer. So, but all of that just into a one separate operating system.
We have King of Bass in the chat. He likes Ubuntu. Okay. Well, I got Ubuntu Mate first, Linux Mint Mate second, and the third would be one of my laptops, whatever's running and updated. That would be my third backup. It could be Ubuntu with GNOME, well, or it could be Linux Mint, Cinnamon.
I feel like the small guy in the crowd. I've got 7 machines in them.
You've got me beat. I don't know, Tommy. You've got 7 machines. I don't think so. Do you?
All right. I have Windows 7 over here, development, media PC. Mac is down here. We're on this computer. I have 2 laptops over here.
6.
And of course, what do you consider Raspberry Pi? I have 2 of those laying around.
All right. So I guess technically you could say you have 7 also.
And I have a Windows 8 writing computer as
Okay.
well.
So you
I got
have
like
7.
10,
Okay.
11 machines.
8.
Wow.
8.
Is it 8?
Is that
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, that's 8.
Ooh.
Got me.
My goodness.
Yeah, and that's 8 actually up and running.
I have in the closet. I have an old Windows 98 compact laptop.
Wow.
9.
Needs
How do you
it
live with
needs
that many
a
computers?
I need a hard drive for it. It's very hard to find a 2.5-inch IDE hard drive, which I believe I can do with a compact flash, right?
Okay.
I'll do that.
Actually, what you said you needed a 2.5-inch IDE.
Wow.
Yep.
I think I've got a 64 gig one sitting here.
I don't
That's
know.
way too big for that computer, man. That computer won't know what to do with 64. It'll be like, what is this thing, man?
Get out of a laptop.
Dude. How do you live with that many flipping machines?
Actually, a lot of it is like 3 of them are always on. Like 2 of them are writing computers, so I only use those to write. They
You
don't do
use
anything
it
else.
much. Yeah.
And one's a media server,
Oh yeah, it didn't even include my media server. My media
Oh my
server
God.
also had that. I forgot
Here's,
about
I
that
have
one.
to take account. I've got more than that because I've got 2
Wow.
desktops sitting here that I use are side by side.
So we gotta
I
have.
have a lot of computers.
Laptops. I mean, I've got now. Derek raised the point. Not all of them are running. I have one in the other room that I use periodically too. But I've got on average what I actually use. There's 5 to 6 I use on a regular basis. But I probably have now that I'm thinking about it, probably a dozen sitting here.
Oh yeah, I've got stuff in the closet. I mean, I've got one machine that's
My
so old. It still
goodness.
has a 3.5 floppy drive in it somewhere.
We
One
got
of
this is
words,
the
man.
official pack rat show here.
I used to have
I'll be back
50,
on.
60 machines here, but as a computer tech, that kind of explains things why I have them. I was telling Boss earlier. These remnants
All right,
of parts here are my.
right
These
here,
were on
man.
HTPC. I tore apart from the other room to replace the power supply fan in.
What's the name of that show on TV where people can't throw stuff away? Garage dwellers or not garage dwellers? What's it called? There's a show, if you guys know what I mean. Where
You're talking about hoarders or storage wars?
I guess it's both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at the yellowing on this baby right here.
Uh-huh. Nice tan.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Did that say word perfect on it? I couldn't read what was.
Compact.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a way to bleach that white if you want.
Nah, I'm good. I like the old nostalgia. And then, of course, here you go, man. 30 pounds of amazingness. Look at that
Wow.
thing, man.
Come to think of it, I may have something like that in the garage. Now you got me thinking, Switch.
The printer port right there, Calm. That's the
Oh, my
VGA for
God.
the Calm.
I gotta look. I'll be right back. I gotta look now.
There, this one's got the floppy drive on the front, and this is the model that has the battery that'll pop out.
Wow.
Wow, we're going way back now.
Yeah. Jeez, I actually want to get Windows 98 put back on it because it occurs to me that this is the only computer I have that still has a COM port, and I still have all my old calculator applications. So getting those to work would be a pretty cool thing.
Does that, and that of course does not have USB, correct?
It does. It has one USB.
Well, you know what? Then you ought to try and put Puppy on it or something. Run it in the RAM. See what happens. Because I had.
Oh, you know what?
12
I'm
or
not sure it
13
can boot. I'm
What's
not
that?
sure it can. I'm not sure it can boot off USB, but it does have a CD-ROM in it, so I can actually burn it to CD.
Okay, because I was gonna say I had a 12 or 13-year-old laptop that I actually put Puppy on it. It had no hard drive in it, and I ran it from the RAM. Oh yeah, there we go.
Compact Presario. I'm the master here. Check that out.
Wow,
Look
look at
how,
those
this thing
fans.
weighs like 20 pounds. It feels like it. 2 speakers. I think it had Windows 98 on or Millennium. Floppy drive.
Nice.
You know. It probably needs powered up. Ooh, looks like something broke on it. Oh well. But
Yeah. See if I
yeah.
get a model on this one.
Uh,
This is the 1605 CDS.
Hmm.
This thing, I think it says. Let's see. See, yeah, there you go, right there. Designed for Windows 98.
Wow. If I can read this in the light here.
Oh wow. I'm only 26, turning 27. I feel old already.
I'm looking for a date on this.
This
It's
is
got a
so
memory expansion slot in the back.
old. This is so old. The Windows
Wow.
key is up here.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh
So,
man.
I'll see a
I
date
tell you,
on
when I
it.
was a little boy back in the
Anyway.
90s, I used to be on one of those machines, and I used to play all kinds of old kid games like Tonga and all this stuff back in the day. And then we migrated up to XP, and I started playing Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Ken used to fix presarios for a living.
Making me think back to when I was just a little
Oh.
guy.
Switch to Linux, draw the Tech Museum. No, I don't have nearly as much junk for that. I'm just not a hoarder, so I have
Oh yeah,
very
this has
old
JBL speakers. I bet this thing still rocks if I get it to power it on. JBL Pro speakers. Ooh.
stuff. Battery nut's long since dead. I have to plug that thing in.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've
Anyway.
thrown away so many computers over the years. I mean, if I didn't throw a few away, there's no telling what I'd end up with.
Oh,
I'd have a room of parts, you know.
oh gosh.
Welcome to the Linux Hoarder Show.
Look at
Oh,
the
but-
Linux time machine.
Yeah, really.
All right.
speaking of parts,
here's
too, I got those 50-something computers I took out of there. I kept some parts out of it. I've got a bunch of power supplies still sitting back there. I've got probably 40-something of the DVD drives back
Mhm.
there. I've got some. I got rid of most of the floppies,
Yeah.
but I still have. I got a bunch of other stuff in there yet. I don't even know what I've got back there anymore.
You still got some 256 RAM sticks somewhere laying around?
Okay.
I've got a
Yeah.
bag of those.
I got a
I
128.
do actually.
Yeah. I've got a Ziploc bag I keep. I've got like 20 of them.
I got some 128s too. I think I was just
Really?
getting rid of.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, what Ubuntu flavors should I look at this weekend?
What's one
Did
that's
you
not
look at
talked
1804
about?
Ubuntu?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a few. I downloaded the regular Ubuntu.
Maybe Lubuntu. That isn't really talked about much. Lubuntu, you know.
Oh, I could.
Yeah, Ubuntu was nice. I mean,
Yeah, lightweight.
I don't
Yeah.
like it.
the
I
problem
run
with
my
Lubuntu.
banking operating system runs Ubuntu. I just don't like it.
Yeah, there's not much to talk about because LXDE doesn't change. You know, it's kind of
Yeah.
it's a dead project. You know,
That's the
kind of-
thing I don't like about it. It's like it just feels too encumbering.
Yeah, you want something to talk about? Budgie's probably the one to
I'm running Budgie right now, so I don't know. I might.
Yeah.
I'm actually not going to update this because I'm working on potentially getting Copperhead compiled for a Pixel, and it turns out that the newest fastboot doesn't work with the Pixels, nor does older versions. You have to have the sweet version, and I have it working, so I'm not pushing updates right now on Ubuntu. I have compiled the software. I'm waiting for the phone.
Linux
And-
Lite doesn't change very much either.
Which one?
Linux Lite. Yeah, yeah, it's because they're using LXDE too, aren't they?
Yeah.
LXDE hasn't changed in a decade. I don't think. I mean,
Studio. I can do another look
Studio,
at Ubuntu
yeah.
Studio.
There's a few distros that don't really get talked about much. One is LXLE, PC Linux OS. I noticed I don't see a lot.
PC Linux OS never gets mentioned in anything. Yeah, you're right.
I
I'm
use it. It's
surprised
fast. It's been reliable. The last time I did it, like a 1-year test in the machine. Yeah, I think it's a rolling release too.
Yeah.
I think it's
like
RPM packages. But yeah,
I think
it
you're
worked.
right, Carmen. LXLE, I think I even like better than LXDE.
Yes, no, it is nice. I mean, it's lightweight, but it's loaded at the same time. They've done a really good job.
The problem with reviewing something like Ubuntu Studio is I don't understand how to get the Jack server up and running. I can't run Ardour. I mean, all those
Yeah.
multimedia apps in Ubuntu Studio I know nothing about. You know, but maybe Tom can help us out on that when he does his.
I know some of them, but not a lot. Like, I mean, I do a lot of graphics design and things like that, so I can do that type of stuff. I have a friend. We were gonna put Ubuntu Studio on. A friend of mine does music stuff. He's just getting into it. Co-host, if you watch my show, co-host is getting into that. So we got him a computer, but we could not get Ubuntu Studio running on that. So we ended up putting Cinnamon on it, and we're just we put a mint cinnamon on it because it worked.
Well, that's good, man. Hey, I tell you, he as long as he's happy, that's all that matters.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's doing a great job. I mean, I've been teaching him to do open source software instead of the closed source stuff because he knows people that are using the Apple stuff, and so I was like, we'll put Mint on there, we'll put Odyssey on there, and then we'll just kind of. So maybe what I need to do is get Ubuntu Studio running so we can figure out what other applications he wants to put on the system. So really, all it is Ubuntu with.
Sorry to interject, but my MacBook from 2013, it's a late 18-inch model, and I gotta tell you, that dang thing, oh my god. Talk about a nightmare to get Linux on, man. I tell you, geez. I mean, go ahead.
What is Devuan? It's GNU plus Linux. I don't know if I've ever heard of it.
It's Debian.
It's Debian without systemd.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's still using sysv. It's the only difference.
Yeah.
It's for all those Debian people that just did not want to go with systemd. You know how systemd caused some kind of controversy.
Spyware connected to the NSA.
Oh
stuff,
yeah. So we're gonna fork Debian and just go with Debian with sysv. We're gonna call it Dev1 or whatever weird name.
Yeah.
Just call it Fork OS or something. Yeah.
And it's a really old fork too. I mean, the packages on it are ancient. I mean, the package on Debian 9 right now are ancient. I mean, that's been out for 3 years now, isn't it? Over 3 years.
The latest one's just like 6 months, maybe. I built the Debian computer right when it came out. Stretch just came out.
Okay.
Stretch is only 6 months old?
Something like that. Yeah.
You looked at Apple, didn't you?
Yeah, I still have one that I frequently use when I'm not running this computer in my media computer right now. It's running the Ubuntu Budgie, but the native hard drive on it is Linux Mint KDE, but I also run a Debian KDE. Actually, it's a Debian with 3 different desktops on it. But that's Stretch. I put it out right when it came out.
KDE has come a long way the last year or so.
I'm still saucy that Linux Mint is dropping KDE. I love KDE.
I have to say, for a laptop perspective, guys, I hate to say, KDE 4 looked the best on a laptop. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks that it's deprecated nowadays.
Yeah, Debian Stretch. It was released last June, so that's about 10 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
A little less than a year. I must have been thinking about Jesse. Jesse was 2014.
Yeah. Jesse's old.
Yeah. I think that might be the one. Is that the one Dev1 is based on? I can't remember. Some of these distros are still basing off of Jesse for some reason. I know Bunsen Labs, when I reviewed that was still based on Jesse. Yeah. It was using Linux kernel version 3 dot something. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah. Jesse is long gone.
Oh, yeah.
It was using 3.16. Yeah, that's right, because I recently did an install of it, and it was using 3.16. I was like, talk about old.
And I don't understand why anybody would build a distro on something that, like, mainline Debian doesn't even support anymore. So why are you building your distro on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's insane, man.
Yeah.
It's like...
I wonder, now that Ubuntu is, at least for me, has proven to be stable, I wonder what all the doubters are going to say. It can't work, or maybe it'll be like Unity. They'll hate it in the beginning, but then they'll come around and like it. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's probably a lot of newer users. I mean, if you've been around Linux for a while, I mean, when I first started, I started on 8.04, I think was the first Ubuntu I looked at. 8.04 LTS worked great. 10.04 worked great. 12.04 worked great. 14.04. I mean, the LTSs have always been solid, no matter what desktop. Yeah.
I mean, Ubuntu is always going to be that one flagship distro that just works every long-term release.
Did any of you ever mess with the Ubuntu Desktop Pack, or DP as they call it?
The Ubuntu what?
Yeah, I'm not
Desktop
familiar
app.
with it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, what is it?
It's basically, I messed with it once. It's like a few different flavors in there together, whether you want mate or whatever. There's different type of, there's varying distros. It's like putting a multi-boot distro together, basically, a multi-boot flash drive of different distros together. From what I remember, I looked at it a long time ago, but it's got a Cinnamon desktop, GNOME, Mate, and Unity available.
You know, that's the one official flavor of Ubuntu we don't have. They don't do a cinnamon edition.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they do a Chinese distro. What's the Ubuntu China?
Nyland,
Yeah, whatever that is.
Mm.
yeah, or Krylon. I want to say Nyland, Krylon, or whatever you call it. Yeah,
I'm surprised.
Both
I'm surprised some community members haven't gotten
Well, if
together.
the crash is called a Krylon, no, just
Yeah.
kidding. But,
yeah, yeah. See, I can't remember all that was in there. It was interesting, but it wasn't. I don't know. I guess for somebody that might be coming here and wanting to try different things, you know, that Ubuntu pack might be okay. But the thing is, if you're new, it could also be confusing for you too, because it's got, you know, well, look it up in Distro Watch and link to it and take a look. You'll see what I'm talking about. And it's just, you know, you basically, it's kind of like almost Solus, where you could pick which one you want to, you know, only this, they put it all in one place. Instead of downloading each one, you can just pick out when you bring up the flash drive, you just pick which one you want to load.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, the more I think about Ubuntu, I think it's historic. You know, I wonder, because for me, my perspective on operating systems and technology changed once I started using Ubuntu, and I thought this has a future. For me, the world changed in terms of operating systems and how I see technology. It changed again with Unity. Alan says Ubuntu, they were ahead of their time with their keyboard-centric, you know, controls. And maybe they're going to do it again with GNOME. You know, Ubuntu is changing the world again for new users wanting to try Linux.
Yeah.
It could be.
For a minimalist that likes keyboard shortcuts, that was the one great thing that Unity did right. Because I don't do the whole point and click thing. I do everything on the keyboard. You could almost
even in the Ubuntu Mate, I just hit the super key,
and
I can search for something. I mean, it's lighter than GNOME, but it's the same principle. But Unity was ahead of its time. That's what Alan said. I think he's right. I think that's why I gravitated, because it was useful. It was different, but not as drastic as GNOME 3 was back in 2011. That's why I chose Unity, because it was a nice change, you know, but it wasn't like shocking like GNOME 3 was, you know. Looking at the CMX17 still stuck at 10 on DistroWatch. Oh, in the rankings? Okay.
I wouldn't go by it. It doesn't mean
the
anything.
distro
Not
watch
really.
rankings don't mean
It's just a
anything.
guide, really. You know. Yeah.
I don't know though. It's Manjaro and Mint are Mint might be knocked off of the top spot after a long time.
I wonder why.
But
Yeah, they're close.
Mint is not the most popular Linux distro on the desktop. Neither is Manjaro.
No.
And I hang out on the Manjaro forums. I mean, the user base for Manjaro is pretty small.
Now, Tom, are you looking at it as the last 6 months? Because if you go look at the last 3 months,
that is
Manjaro
last
took it.
Yeah, probably last three Manjaro did. Yeah.
Like if you look at activity on like forums, support forums, IRC chat channels, that sort of thing, Ubuntu is king. But also you see a lot of activity on the Fedora forums. You see a lot of activity on Arch. You see a lot of activity on Gentoo, of all places.
Yeah.
One of the most popular Linux.
That's because you need more help.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, that's the good thing about Ubuntu is even with as many changes as they had, if you find something that fixed Ubuntu in version 12, it likely still fixes it now. And that's the thing about Ubuntu is it's there's so much useful information out there.
Yeah.
So it's good in that respect.
I wouldn't be surprised that Ubuntu is still the #1 used Linux in the world.
Oh, by
Maybe
far. Many times over. Yeah, on the desktop for sure. Now,
even
in the
with
server
GNOME,
space,
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think in general, even with GNOME not being as popular maybe as the old GNOME 2 or Unity, but I mean, for a lot of people like myself, it was my first test of Linux. And you tend to remember things like that, you know. So I give him credit. I told that, I said, thank you, man. If it wasn't for Ubuntu, I probably wouldn't be here. You know, but, you know, I got a taste of it back then. It wasn't quite as polished as it is now, obviously, but I didn't give up. Probably one of the few Windows users who was persistent. Over the years, you know.
Yeah, I unfortunately toss. Where is my mind? I was not, however, so persistent with God, always this shows in my head with Ubuntu after 11.04 and the bad hiatus that I went through with that. I decided, you know, it's time to check out other venues and. I went to Gentoo at that time, and we haven't looked back.
I would say Ubuntu probably started hitting its stride with the 14.
With the 14.x days.
Probably, yeah. I had to guess, yeah.
I think 11 was the first time I tried it.
Yeah, 11.04 was the worst Ubuntu ever released.
That was the first with Unity, right?
Yes,
I think?
yes. That was Unity based on the old GNOME.
Right. It was,
it was not ready at that.
Yeah. And I don't usually actively participate in beta testing, but I actually did use the alpha and betas for 11.04 that entire cycle. And Ubuntu is normally very stable, even the betas. I remember I had to reinstall at least half a dozen times during the 11.04
Man, that's
cycle.
sad.
Yeah, it was so bad. I mean, it was the most unstable distro still to this day I've ever seen.
Well, I will assure you, if it was that bad, I'm sure it's still that bad to this day.
Yeah.
Well, I remember the 10.04 version?
Yeah,
that was pretty good. Yeah, if I recall, yeah.
Yeah. Then 10.10 came out. That was when they were testing the interface.
Right. Well, look, they ventured out. They took a shot.
Yeah.
They wanted to try something different, and for the most part, Unity worked out. They were ahead of their time, like Alan said. They just were. Yeah.
It was around the 14.04, 15, whatever.
Yeah.
That it started to really take its peak. Because, you know, Unity, while a lot of people criticized it, it wasn't as bad as most people thought. It was just it needed time to grow.
Exactly.
And there was nothing really wrong with it. It was just that it had all kinds of, you know, bugs that needed to be.
That, and it did. Look, if you were like I was using GNOME 2 type distros for years before, you know, Unity. I mean, it did take time to acclimate yourself to the new user interface. But I recall at the time, let's see, Unity or GNOME 3. Unity just wasn't as shocking from my Windows eye. It just wasn't as shocking. You know what I mean? I thought it looked nice.
Yeah.
You know, when Windows 8 came out, a lot of people were stunned. I say, no, I like this. Just put the start key back in their Windows and you have a winner. They didn't listen to me. So then we know what happened.
When 8 came out, it was a cluster F, and there was
because it was so different. They were taking chances which Windows never did. When you think about it, that's why I liked it. But they needed the start button, and they didn't do it. You know.
Yeah, and then they brought it back in 8.1.
Right.
Which all it did was take you to that start screen afterwards, and then that was just worse. And now that they've got Windows 10,
well, I mean, I can't fault them for trying something different with. I couldn't because we made fun. It's so plain, boring. Windows 8 wasn't boring for all its good or bad reasons, but I liked it. I remember saying, "Wow, this is really different." But it needed a start button. You know,
it needed a button. There was nothing question about it, and that's what they did in Windows 10. They brought back the start screen.
It just made sense. Because then they added the telemetry, and then they ruined it. Yeah.
But the only problem is they ruined the privacy concern.
Right.
Other than that, it runs perfect.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, I mean, they really hyped up the performance rate. I will say that, but the privacy concern is the only thing that bugs me. But other than that, it runs like a champ, and you know, it games very well, I will say that. But, you know, there's always somebody who's going to knock it at some.
Well, the core system in Windows 10 works. I think Tom and I have talked about it's the politics though that we don't care for. But if it, or at least if it had it transparent like in the beginning, like the new Ubuntu gives you a choice. We would like to do this. Just do we have your permission? Be more upfront, transparent about it. But they were being sneaky about it. It wasn't necessary.
Yeah, I know. Well,
I
I
don't know if you
wish that I wish that Microsoft would give us that same level of ability to say, hey, we want this or we don't want this.
Right.
One of the two, and that's the one thing I wish that they would change is that, we want to pick this, but at the same time we don't.
Yeah.
It would be a nice touch. And
English Bob is in the house, by the way. Welcome, English Bob. Steve. Steve, you're welcome to join the
Also,
stream.
Trucking on Linux. He changes his name every couple of weeks. So.
I know.
He changes his YouTube channel like all the time.
Well, English Bob is a name hopper. He got
Right.
distro. No, just kidding. But Steve, you're welcome to join the stream. Send me an email at totalostoday1@gmail.com.
Yeah, come chat with the big boys.
Yeah, come chat with the real Linuxers here. Hey. This is our version of the Linux A team, right?
Yeah, this is the new Linux A team here.
Da, 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 da,
Speaking
da,
of that,
da, da.
I actually spoke to Spatry on Mumble.
Oh.
And he said that he won't be coming back to YouTube anytime, unfortunately.
Oh.
Well, he plans to come back, but he can't right now because he's got his computer is on its last leg and he can't afford to get another one. So he's on a massive hiatus.
Okay, all right.
And he just got burned out. That's why he was gone.
I understand. No, it's look after 2,000 videos, I get it.
Yeah, he was just so worn out that he didn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't against anybody. He was just not into it anymore. I mean, he wasn't going to stop Linux. He was just so tired of his channel, he just couldn't keep at it.
It's a lot. It's that's why I don't distro hop anymore.
I understand that. I understood his reasoning, and he had to move on to helping out his mom and all of that.
Right. No, I completely understand. Yeah. I mean,
with his life.
I miss doing the Sunday night news and nonsense reports, but I understand.
I mean, they had a great little community going on down there, and there was, but he needed to move on.
Well, he was doing multiple things on YouTube. He had the Linux gaming night, the Linux Zoo crew, the news and nonsense, the reviews. I mean, it's too much. Yeah, it's just at some point you got to, what, I can't. Yeah.
And the worst part was it felt like to him it was taking over his life.
Yeah. No, it's you fall into a trap.
And then he had then he had the Manjari spin and all this junk.
Yeah.
I mean, poor guy needed a
Yeah. Well, we have some good memories, me, him, and IG, and having guests on. And
the best part is we have them, and those will be there forever.
I should do another retrospective news and nonsense, maybe one of these weekends. I think that'll be fun.
You think IG would come back on to us?
He's on. I know he got married 2 years ago, right? Something like that.
Well, he's back on YouTube now.
He's doing his own review. I mean, I can ask him if he wants to come on. He's in Tasmania, which is Australia. He's 12 hours ahead. Yeah, I can ask him if he has time on the weekend or whatever.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I never got to talk to the guy, but if you guys do something, maybe I can come on one of these days and hang out.
Yeah, my very first podcast was with IG. I remember it was a year later when I started in 2011. He did something on Ubuntu, and I thought, he's good. He knows it. And he also has that distinctive signature voice. Like when you hear, he has it.
I will say that. And he really does a heck of a show. And I mean, for an Australian British guy, he's got talent. That guy.
Yeah, he was into Linux like I was, and we kind of shared the same philosophies. This was I was doing. I called it Tosscast podcast at the time with him. We did it for a few years. It was fun. We did it once a week, and it worked out pretty good. He was also part of our Linux 18 back then, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
a great young
dabbled in different things. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's a great young guy like myself, and very knowledgeable. And I found it funny his Gen 2 review was one of my favorite videos of his. And you know, I also recently saw that he tried Solus on his MacBook, and I was like, man, I would be using it if they just had a more in-depth package manager with more options. That's the one thing that bugs me about it is the fact that they don't have a more opened up package manager.
Yeah, I considered actually putting Solus on my main machine here, but I can't run Budgie because Budgie doesn't do multi-monitor as well.
No,
so I checked the repos. The Solus repos, Xmonad is in there.
All right.
So I installed Xmonad, but Xmonad doesn't come with a panel or anything. So I checked for Xmobar, which is the panel for Xmonad. It's not packaged.
Right.
I can build it. I can install it from Cabal. But then when you start compiling stuff like that, you know, the package manager is not going to know you built that stuff. And it's like, where am I going to go with this? Am I just going to start building all the packages I need when I can just go install Arch or Gen 2 or something and everything's in the repos? So
Right, I know. That's why I've been reluctant to do another LFS because talk about freaking nightmare.
Yeah, I'm not trying to manage dependencies or anything. I'm not trying to build my own packages.
Yeah.
So I have to ask English Bob. So English Bob, Steve, what sucks this week? You always have a video like this sucks, that's F this and that. I gotta. I will terminate Windows.
Yeah, it's like go Arnold on your ass. That's the way I look at it. But anyway, go Arnold on him.
So, Tom, how do you think your Facebook experiment's going to go? I'm interested to see that.
I don't know. I mean, I'm on day 2 right now. In fact, hopefully I'll be able to get a chance to collect some more before the night's up. But, you know, so far, I had a friend of mine look this up who's completely unconnected to me just in case there was some bias. Apparently the name I chose is connected to a person of a real name, and I had him look it up, and he's actually from the city. I'm literally getting everything I'm getting is from the city that person seems to be in, who seems to be slightly more high profile than I was anticipating because I randomly kind of chose the name. So everything I'm getting is from there, and everything I'm seeing right now is like advertisements for like food type stuff, and this one thing which I think is a band, and Fox 13 news articles. So that's the only thing that's appearing in the timeline. So that actually opens me up. Since I know everything is located in one specific city, I'm going to add to my test to talk about an individual city. So my thoughts are, another imperative challenge is apparently they are changing some of their user policies and data collection methods. So it would have been better to do this experiment a month or 2 ago, but we'll see. So, you know, I'm going to report exactly as it is. If talking around the thing shows impact, then it shows impact. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But yeah, it's so far it's boring because every single thing I'm seeing is the same. It's tragic news articles and food advertisements. The
other thing too is you're doing it based more so on audio right now, correct? Not necessarily key logging.
Exclusively based on audio. Yes.
Because if you obviously it's tracking you with cookies for key logging and stuff. It'd be interesting to see if there was a cleaner way to track that too for how they key log.
Yeah, that certainly is a question. Yeah. But as of right now, I'm minimizing any interaction with it. So, like I put on the Google account that it was needed just to run the Facebook to get the updated, and then I removed all Google accounts from the thing. I've not typed anything else in anywhere. I'm not connecting it to my network. I've turned off, let's see. I can't remember if I've turned on or turned off location services. I've set whatever the default now.
I remember I thought in your video you said you turned them off, I thought. Maybe I'm wrong.
I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look at my login videos. I'm actually recording everything in videos and keeping a full scientific journal. I think, let's see. No, I think you're right. I think I did turn off location services specifically.
Yeah. Because I think that was one of the, if I correct me if I'm wrong, I think that was one of the things you were looking to see if it would still track your location with those off.
Yeah. And
Right.
so far, I mean, the city I'm getting everything from is not where I'm at. The fact I'm getting Fox News articles tells me it's leaning Republican for some reason. And I would not expect that from where my location is certainly more Democratic. And so that's certainly is a good sign that preliminarily it looks like it's definitely not pulling my location at all. So that's good.
Okay.
But like I said, after about 10 days, I don't know, I'm thinking about maybe cutting it down to 9 days, 9 instead of 10. That way I have an extra couple of days in there to collect data because I don't want to buy another card to expand the service one more month.
Yeah. It's interesting though.
Yeah. But like I said, everything is Soulfish Cafe, 901 Grill and Market, Waka Faka Flame, which I thought was dental stuff, but apparently it's a band. I don't know.
Sounds like a Chinese restaurant. I hate to say that.
I don't know what it is. Rec Room, Art Crawl, a few real estate things. I got a few real estate things yesterday. I didn't see any today. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, some of these sound really scrutinous or something.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I'm concerned about with social media itself is that social media is, particularly if they're using an algorithm base for social media, then it tends to give you a very narrow focus. It'll narrow out your thinking rather than expand your thinking. The entire purpose of the internet was to get on and grow our world, but what it does with all these algorithms is it shrinks our world.
Yeah.
It gets us so tied in as an echo chamber for our own views and opinions, and that's problematic.
Mm-hmm.
Of course it is.
Well, and especially if it's trying to you know basically make money off you, steering you to products or other things. I mean, that would tend to make sense because they're going to kind of direct you where they want you to go.
That's another concern is it's all about the coercion and stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tom, before I forget, I will not be available tomorrow night for the next Life in Linux. So people in the chat are watching. Check out the last week's number 7. What did we talk about? I don't remember.
Last week was Linux for newbies.
Okay, that's right. How can I forget? So check that one out if you haven't.
I may have some time Sunday evening.
I don't know about Sunday, but I'll let you know.
Okay.
I know tomorrow night for sure will not be you.
A couple hours that I may be tied up, but I can't remember. And for those watching, I'm not going to be doing a tinfoil hat time tomorrow.
Okay.
I may or may not do anything live tomorrow or not. I'm catering a meal for somebody, and so that's going to take up all the time I would otherwise be doing research.
Yeah.
But I'm planning on recording a few videos, maybe tonight. Maybe not tonight. Maybe I'll just do something late tomorrow night. I don't know. Or maybe I'll take a day off. Should I take
Imagine
a day
that,
off?
a day off. Yeah.
A day off? What's that?
Yeah, everybody's like, day off. What are you talking about? Yeah.
There we go. Vacation OS. I like that.
Oh, vacation.
Vacation OS.
The
The
scammers
distribution
keep
that is a
finding
blank screen that does nothing, so take a vacation.
There you go. There you go.
All right. For people in the chat, everybody, I'm probably going to wrap this up in about 10 minutes, pushing on midnight. So,
Yeah. I still have to make an ice cream cake for tomorrow. I'm going to have to make that
my
tonight.
goodness. Oh, here we go. Food again. Gee, just when I thought we were cruising along.
Hey.
Derek, you
Where's my
mentioned about
lunch?
Antigross earlier, not trying it. Just look back at one of the Biddle episodes when we got challenged, and the guy that challenged us never bothered to show up. And there was a lot of nightmares. You know, I had a couple of problems, but not like everybody else. I actually found that I think it was, if I remember right, it was the cinnamon version that seemed to work okay for me. But I did have problems like mate didn't work very clean.
Yeah.
But I know that Colin had headache after headache trying to. I mean, it was just awful. Everybody was like, "Where's Ryan?" Because he's the one that challenged everybody, and he never showed up.
the guy in the chat that was asking me why do I run Manjaro instead of Antergos, the main reason is I like the Manjaro installer better. Antergos installer that offers you those 8 different desktops, it offers you that because it has to pull them down from the internet. You know, all that's not on the ISO.
Yeah.
The installer is slower. I can have Manjaro up and running a little quicker than I can Antergos.
Yeah. I've
Well, that
actually
would
never
make sense
gotten
for the
Android
process.
working right.
Yeah. That, you know, because if it's got to pull those down, and if there was,
Yeah, it's
even
essentially a
if
net
the
install.
internet hiccuped. Yeah.
Right. You have to have working internet to get it installed.
Yeah, and Colin's internet can be questionable sometimes, so that might explain it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, Antergos is a fine distro. I mean, I've looked at it in VM, so
Yeah, when
It's
I got
Arch.
it seemed to work okay, but
yeah, it's 100% Arch. I mean, it's
yeah. Now the XFCE, ugliest sin. I don't like it. It was a horrible looking distro.
well, XFCE is not
Pretty.
pretty.
by default,
I mean,
Speaking of
Although Nice
XFCE,
job.
the new Cubes is out, and I either have to rebuild the bootloader on my existing Cubes, or just wipe the thing and rebuild the entire from Cubes 4. What do you think? Should I just redo Cubes 4? My current Cubes is 3, but like I said, the bootloader doesn't work since I changed computers.
so what are your options? Just a nuke and pave, and what else?
I either need to go in and because Cubes, at least in version 3, I don't know about version 4. Version 3 does not follow how a bootloader is supposed to load, and so computers simply can't find it. So you have to manually program it into the computer.
Yeah. Is it because all the container stuff that it does?
No, it's because the boot. It rather than doing EFI/boot, it does EFI/something else/boot/something else, and then it changes that with every boot number, and like every time you update the thing, it was killing the bootloader on the particular computer I have. My laptop, I can fix it without a problem, but you know it's on a hard drive, so that doesn't help. So with 4, I should just, in theory, just be able to spin the thing up, and there's really nothing on it that's critical anyway that I can recall. So, and it might be worth looking at 4 because I love Cubes. I haven't run it since my computer blew up because I can't boot it right now.
Well, I was going to say if you're looking at where's your time would be better spent, maybe it's worth trying 4 then.
Probably 4, honestly.
Yeah.
I might want to buy a new hard drive for it though first. I'm still running on an old slow hard drive. I think a better hard drive would.
I know you should really try to fix problems, but usually if I find things take me, because I have so little free time, if I find something takes me longer than 30 minutes to fix something, I just reinstall. I just always just
Cubes could take longer than 30 minutes. Cubes is an interesting piece of work. I love it. It's just an interesting piece of work.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see if they fix those bootloader issues in the latest version. It's just, I mean, it's just a pain just with this particular computer and with the last computer I had. I don't know why, but custom computers in there.
Anybody use Tor? I know Q's is more security conscious, right?
I've used the Tor browser. Yeah, I like keeping a VM around of Tails, the Debian-based distro that has.
Well,
Tor.
You shouldn't use Tails though on a VM. You should use that on a live key. Really
I have a live USB. I keep a VM and a live USB stick.
Okay. Yeah, it's like VM Cube or VM Tor. You should use Linux.
They really recommend, if you're going to use it in a VM, they recommend you use it actually in Linux or BSD rather than Windows or Mac, because obviously you need a open source operating system on your host machine, because who knows what Windows and Mac are doing.
Yeah. Because I run Tor on my phone. In fact.
Right.
Nice.
Now I run Tor on most of the browsers on the phone. I keep one that's open because one thing is, like, if I need to access something on my network server in-house, I don't want to. I can't access it because my inner network's not available from the outside. But everything else that runs Tor. So, yeah, Tails, Unix, Cubes, all good sources.
I actually think Tails is one of the most important projects in the open source community. I think that's great. As far as privacy, if you take privacy seriously.
Right.
Yeah. Well, there's heads as well, but I did a little bit more testing out with heads, and I just, like, the biggest problem with heads, you couldn't mount drives. I could not, for the life of me, get a drive mounted. And you don't use a system like that on the drive you're on. Of course, it's
Right.
heads as tails with sysv instead of system D. So that's really the
Yeah, well,
difference.
that's
But I couldn't
part
get it to work.
part of the security thing is they don't want you writing to a drive. They don't want you anything to be saved anywhere. That's the point. It's not to leave a trail.
Correct, but
Yeah.
but Tails, I plug in a USB drive and bing, it works. There it is.
Mhm.
Heads, nope, couldn't get it to work.
It's funny when you look at cubes itself, though. I've only looked at it once, where I was just kind of, or briefly, very briefly. But even now, I'll just pull a screenshot up to remind myself. And I hate to say it, it actually looks like a Windows 3.1-ish type. Flavor. I mean, the way the way the text is and everything, and the icons. Doesn't it kind of remind you of that? You know what I'm talking about? Where it looks a little more early.
It does look old. It does. Of course, it's XFCE, so that would be the only reason I want to fix the one that I have, is because I spent a good amount of time theming that up, and I really like the way I themed it. Mine looks a little bit nicer, but a lot of it is, they didn't put a ton into the theming because they don't really want you to mess with the theming a whole lot, because any little thing that you do separately, the way it's not designed, could introduce a security flaw.
Right.
And that's what I like about cubes. It's awesome for that respect.
Interesting.
Cool. It is it's midnight, so I'm going to end the stream here. We can still chat off live if you want to for a few minutes. But for everybody in chat, thank you for staying up late if it's the same time zone. But thank you anyway. 2001 videos. This is my official 2001 video. Thank you for all these years.
It has been an odyssey.
It truly has. I thought about. I'll be honest, because of the burned out factor. I thought about quitting. Stopped doing this years ago, or not as much, but it's people like here tonight and viewers like you who support me, not just monetarily, but saying, hey, hang in there, thank you, this and that. So thank you for all these years. I hope to be doing this another 8 years or more if I can. I don't know. We'll see how things go. But to all of you who stuck around since the beginning, it's been marvelous. So thank you. Again, thanks to my cousin Gabriella, up-and-coming singer from New York. If you've missed this, just wait till this is done and replay it. Watch her sing. Check her out on YouTube, on Facebook, whatever. And the fantastic young talent, young lady from New York. And check her out and see what you guys think. So I'm going to end the stream now for this portion. So thank you.
Peace, guys.
Good night, everybody.
See ya.